You can see sitting next to me, you did see sitting next to me, my good friend Thomas Tenlin. Wow, they started the match before we could even do an introduction. Thomas from Sweden, number 9 Giant, he's going to do the heavy lifting and the intelligent part of this discussion. Somebody asked, are they playing legal moves? All matches that are streamed, and I didn't know this, that are going to be legal moves because of the transcription. When there's a break, I'm going to tell you about what's the format, what's going on. Let me just say that we have Frank Frigo on top in the white checkers from San Diego, Victor Ashkenazi from New Jersey, New York, and also from Greece, 2 Americans. So we're going to have an American in the finals, not necessarily an American champion. The winner of this match gets a day off tomorrow and will play in the finals on Sunday at 3 p.m. or 1500, I think they call it, Monte Carlo time. The loser will have to win 3 more matches to get back from the fighter's bracket or the second chance to get back and have a chance at the finals. Some of you who are very, very callous and all you think about is money, there's about $55,000 difference riding on this match. The almost as much money as we'll be riding on the finals. When you take the bonus that the undefeated player gets and the guarantee of coming in first or second, and the other player's got to fight his way through 3 matches, and then the side pool, they're actually playing for about $55,000 now. Every time I play for $55,000, I get a little nervous. Thomas, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd be nervous about that too.
Thomas is the number 9 Giant. He is a grandmaster, and I'm just so thrilled to have him here. He's an old good friend of mine, and I have to admit that I have a conflict of interest in this finals because I love both Frank and Victor. They're both really good friends of mine for many, many years. Frank and I have done some business together when he had Zeus. Victor and I play often when I go to New York in the park. We play. I'm not going to play him regular backgammon. We play Pascal gammon, and he still finds a way to kill me. And we go to dinner every time we get a chance. We play a 1-point match for the dinner, and I think I won one. Even 1-point matches, he's impossible. Victor, as we know, is one of the top 3-4 players in the world. Okay. Frank grabs that cube. Looks like a great cube. Easy take, though, with those 2 checkers back.
Well, XG disagrees, I think. I think XG thought that this was a medium-sized pass, basically.
Oh, really? Yeah. See? Oh, my God. And look at Frank's PR as a result. I didn't look at XG. Open mouth, insert foot. Okay. From now on, I'm going to let somebody who knows what they're talking about take the lead. That looked like a take to me.
Yeah, it was, I think it was a pass by 120 or something, which is obviously not a really big pass in any way. So, I mean, it's always difficult in cube action to be that precise, I would say. Anything close to 100, I would say is not a very big mistake, as I see it, at least.
In Victor's last match, we saw him pass a .2 pass, and he knew damn well it was a take, but he was playing the player and playing the situation, looking for gammons. When I interviewed him last night, if you missed that interview, I recommend you go back and look at the interview with Victor. It was sensational. He gave us insights about what it's like to be playing under huge pressure at the top of the game and how he thinks about XG. He doesn't give a damn about XG. He wants to win. He wants the world championship. He doesn't give a damn about the money. All he cares about, he wants this title. Frank has been there before. Frank won the world championship in 1994, and we asked him about it. He said, it's a blur. He was on his honeymoon. They decided to stop off in Monte Carlo for the fun of it, play in the tournament, and he wins the world championship.
Yeah. So let's see if he can do it again.
Oh, well, we had 12 world champions enter this tournament, and I think only 4 were left after the first round. I was thinking about putting a bet on with some odds on the chance of a world champion repeating, and it really didn't look good until now. Now we have a reasonable chance that it'll repeat. But Frank would have to win 2 more matches in a row. He'd have to win this match and then the final match to repeat. So what is that? That's 50% if he wins. But if he loses, he can still win by winning 3 more matches on the way back.
Right. So Victor trying to decide whether to leave his anchor or not here. Usually some resistance towards leaving an advanced anchor, especially when you're priming your opponent and you can just sit back there and wait is often the feeling. But I guess here he can come out, duplicate, or actually triplicate deuces, and also his 6-1 plays poorly otherwise. So that's apparently the best play. Or I guess it was the best play.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I saw it.
Well, we know that Frank's board is not going to get worse. It's only going to get better. So that screams at running.
Yeah, and look at what happened now. He gets hit, but is he that unsatisfied with this situation? I don't think so. So
20 numbers hit back immediately, and that's big for gammons and wins.
Right. So surely it was a good play.
They don't play dice on checkers.
Nope.
I will watch the chat from time to time. So if you have questions or comments, I might not catch them right away, but I'll do my best. By the way, tomorrow, whoever wins this has a day off, but there will be 3 stream matches in the fighters bracket at 1,400, 1,700, and 2,200. And we've got some tremendous players in the fighters bracket. First of all, one of these will be Morton Holm has already advanced to a higher level in the fighters bracket. And by the way, on stream 2, we have a fighters bracket match if you want to. If you're interested in that, Dagfinn Snarheim from Norway, an incredible player, and Mario Kohl from Germany. That's an amazing match. I wish I could watch that, and I probably, by the way, I will after all these matches are recorded. Everybody watching, please smash the like button. We want to get over 1,000 live active viewers, and subscribe.
Okay, so we said it was not too dangerous for Victor to get hit, but all of a sudden that changed a little bit. So now he would be very happy to enter here, obviously, although Frank is still hard-pressed to roll a 5, I guess.
Yeah, 5s are important numbers here for both players. True. Victor needs 5s in, and Frank needs 5s out. And it's the battle of the 5s.
Yeah, and he kind of rolls a 5 here.
Now, that was incredible. That's a big roll. Now he doesn't just need 5s; he needs 5s and 4s, doubling his chances of getting out of there.
Well, he has a 4 already, so he can come out to the 18 point, right?
Well, he didn't have a 4 if he didn't split just now.
No, that's true.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I just mean he has rolled a 4, so he has the chance to.
Yes, right now. Yes, right.
Come out.
Now's the time to do it.
Yeah.
You have to prioritize what's the most important thing going on. I learned that from Matt Cohn-Geyer. When I interviewed Matt, I said, "Is it your intellect? Is it your math skills? Or is it your memory?" He said, "Neither. It's the ability to focus on the key issue." That made him a great chess player and backgammon player. The key issue there for Frank was getting out, and he did. The key issue for Victor was coming in, and he didn't. That's why this is a big pass.
Yep. I think the loose blot on Victor's 14 point is key here. If he didn't have that extra blot, it would be quite some work to do still for Frank. But now, as we can see, at least based on the XG analysis, is way too. It's way too much the risk of Frank both coming out and otherwise perhaps hitting and buying some extra time. So
if he didn't have that loose blot, it might not even be a double. I'm not sure it's a double. It was certainly, I think it would be a take. But,
right. I agree. It should be takeable otherwise.
What Thomas is doing is eyeballing, shifting the position, and looking at variations, because it really helps you understand the game better. Why it's a double, why it's a take, why you move one checker play. You don't just look at the position that you're looking at. Quite often we take a picture, put it in, and do like 6 variations to see how it would change the position. But when you do that, you'll really understand what's going on. It takes a lot of patience. It's called deliberate practice. I know of no better way to get better. Was that your approach to getting better? Well, you're one of the best players in the world.
Certainly, one of the things you can do is look at variance, and one of the things I do. In general, trying to understand where I was wrong in my thinking whenever I made mistakes. So you can do it looking at variance. You can look at the dice distribution, how the different roles play, etc. You can also play games out, which I haven't done a lot, but that's another method.
That was the only method we had when I was learning this game. We didn't have XG. And when he talked about dice distribution, he's talking about a feature in Extreme Gammon. If you are a serious player, go to www.extremegammon.com, buy it, tell everybody there's a drop-down screen, tell them you heard about it from Phil. I make $5 when you do that. Then let me know, and I can get you a video that tells you how to use it, every detail of it, because there's no FAQ on that. But if you really want to get good, every single player here, I would bet you, has Extreme Gammon that's any good at all. It's the only way to advance in this game. Okay, he passes. Very good pass.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a big turnaround.
Tough cube to pass still, in the sense that he is winning so many percent of the games. I mean, if that position is just played out, so you don't want to give it up, but it's just getting gammoned every time he doesn't win, almost, or not every time, but like 2 times out of 3 or something like that.
So a gammon, of course, is a double game where your opponent gets all of his checkers off before you get one off, and you get twice as many points as whatever the cube says. And then there's a backgammon. If you get all your checkers off before they get a checker off, that's worth triple. So that's a real factor in games like that. It's a very good roll. Helps the race come down.
Very good, yes. And let's see if Victor can respond. Otherwise, Frank is already pretty close to a double. But yeah, that's a pretty solid roll. So definitely not a cube just yet. Well, I don't know. It was a decent roll, no more.
Do you make the ace or do you come down? I don't know the answer. I'm tempted to make the ace because of the stack.
Both plays make some sort of sense because I mean, Frank wants to bring it home, and then he wants to create flexibility, but he also likes that Victor has to advance his blot from the 24 point. I mean, the fact that he anchors on the 21 point is fine in a way for Frank, because he can dump checkers behind it. So
and it was right to make the ace point by quite a bit.
Yeah. I guess there were 2 pretty tall stacks on the...
Unstacking, duplication, those are 2 major things I think about all the time when I'm playing, and it's just been drummed into me by my teachers over the years. I've had some good teachers. Bill Roberti, Paul McGrill, Perry Gartner, Kit Woolsey, Oswald Jacoby. I got a lot of money invested in good teachers, and it's really paid off. I'm a mediocre player now.
Yeah.
Okay, he's volunteering partially because the other guy's board is not so hot.
Yeah, and also his role didn't play very well otherwise.
Well, but it was a bad play.
Yeah, it was possible to create some future flexibility. That is the problem. He still would have left a shot, but now he has problems next roll as well. Volunteering by bringing 2 down would have left some more flexibility for the future.
Well, I have an axiom. Once you've made your opponent's 18 point, the midpoint has much less value. You shouldn't be trying to hold it.
Exactly. So if he would have cleared it there, he would have had some time to play to his checkers there.
And he's going to be punished by getting hit.
Obviously very easy to say, given that XG has told us it's a best play, but that's the rationale for the move.
Wow, I was tempted to come up to the 20 point, and it's where is that? It's not, it's terrible. You need to use those aces elsewhere. You need to be playing on the other side of the board. You're just about as good to be on the 4 point as the 5 point.
Yeah, because actually it's quite uncomfortable for Frank that there's a gap on his 5 point now. If Victor advanced his anchor, it would in a way just feel easier for Frank to play, the checker, for instance, 1 pip behind that anchor.
But I would have played 6-4 if I wasn't advancing instead of just bringing those closer. I didn't see the great value.
Yeah.
And it was right, by the way. I would have played 6-4.
Yeah.
So that means that I'm better than Victor, right?
It definitely does, yes.
Well, the amount of money I've lost to him proves that that's wrong. Victor's, before coming to this tournament, we were talking, his record this year is winning about 73% of his matches. That's just unbelievable in a game that has this much luck. And he's playing very good players almost everywhere he goes. That's including super jackpots. I'm sure somebody may have had a better record than that at some point, but not as long. I mean, it's just amazing. He's really hot.
Yeah, he sure is winning a lot. Feels like he wins every tournament when you look at you read on Facebook.
He's either winning every tournament or he's in the finals of the Super Jackpot or both. He seems to be coming up against Chris Trencher a lot, and they seem to be splitting. This is one of the reasons why and Chris Trencher went very far in this tournament and played very well as well. It justified my posting that I thought Chris should be on the Giants list as well. Of course, I always vote for Thomas Tenlin since I've known you.
I hope so, Phil. I sure hope
You
so.
deserve it. And you said you would vote for me twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I always say it. Yeah, but okay. So Frank played behind with the 3-1. He didn't want to leave a shot since something had to give anyway for Victor, and sure enough, he had to leave the anchor. So in a way, his safe play. Ended up making a lot of sense there.
Well, he's up in the race. What's your game plan? Race. And you don't want to risk shots when Victor has a pretty good board. You don't want to get hit. So
exactly.
Again, it's all about game plan, strategy.
And now that Victor's back checkers have moved a bit forward, it seems a little easier for Frank to get his guys home.
Yeah, he
for
can just
example,
go
now
behind. Yeah.
he can lead. No, okay.
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah, that's clear. I do that too. I'm used to a baffle box where both players are rolling on that side.
Yeah.
I think everybody should use one of my baffle boxes, by the way.
Anyway, it's the case now as well, because with a 4-3 here, he can come around the corner and just leave a single shot, and that's probably going to be all he leaves. Or he can just play it completely safely and wreck his board. But in these sort of games with contact left, I mean, it looks safe to break your board, but the problem is you allow your opponent to take a lot of quote-unquote risks to hit you later.
Yeah, he can slot in front of him, leave blots in front of him, do all kinds of stuff.
So your opponent can just play carelessly, and then the risk is that you'll get hit later.
Yep.
So that's why it's not as safe as it looks. That being said, you don't really want to leave a shot against a strong 4-point board, so it's very understandable that you're looking to do something else if possible. But
this is clearly the right play.
Yeah,
he got it.
He finds it as well, and
there's no harm in looking at the other.
No. Quite the opposite. It's a very good idea.
This is not exactly at all what Victor wanted. He's got some real choices here. Again, his game plan, he'd rather keep contact and get a shot. That's his best chance. So you leave that back checker back.
Yeah. Interesting that it seems to be such. Oh, okay, maybe not a big mistake, but to play to the 12 points. But it's probably, as you say, conceptually you want to stay back, and in case Frank wants to run off his 18 point for whatever reason, then he has to worry about that block. So
he can't run off the 18 point now without leaving double shots. So it's just too rich to.
With this roll. But I mean, if he rolled like double aces or double deuces or something, then he would have had to think about cleaning up the blot and not just advancing the anchor. So
this is the only play. This is a nice roll. He's just going to make the ace point.
Yep. And then what?
You're supposed to
slotting
slot.
Looks very natural, of course, but it probably anticipates that he might get a shot, so doesn't want to have a blot because of that. Yeah.
Board be gone.
Yep.
Victor would like to roll kind of small here. He'd love to roll a 3. He wants to stay in front of him. Hey, double 3s. 1, 2.
And probably he maybe he should just cover instead of cleaning up the just because if he gets hit now, so what?
He very quickly found the right play.
Yeah. And if Frank rolls a 6, or a 5-4 for that matter, shots are deadly. So this should be a double, I suppose.
This is 20 shots and 16 misses. If he hits, he wins. If he misses, he loses. This is like a one-roll position. And
he doesn't lose if he misses. He doesn't lose if he misses because Frank wastes a lot of pips. So he's not up by near as much in the race as it looks, right?
I think he loses if he misses. Unless he rolls big, he's going to get doubled out. Am I wrong with the 20 pips, even with the wastage? Maybe I misread it, but I think he's going to lose most of the time. He's not going to lose if he rolls double 6, double 5, double 4, maybe double 3. But if he just misses with normal numbers, it's a clear double, though. See,
We'll see if it happens.
Yeah, this game is probably going to end on one roll, and if you're a 20-16 favorite, you would rather play for twice as much. Now, of course, that's not true at certain scores, and that's what makes match play so much more fun and interesting than individual gameplay or money play. Victor did think about 1/10 of a second before he doubled. This is just such a known position for him.
Yeah, and it's very clear. Generally in backgammon, when you can win a game with a single roll and you're more than 50% to do so, yeah, you got to ship it. Yeah.
And your point to not necessarily winning when you miss is what makes this a pass. It isn't. If he had a better pip count and less wastage, it would be a take.
Yeah,
very good pass by Frank.
True. That and the fact that Victor could also win a gammon. Yeah. So yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of reasons that was a pass.
Yeah.
But clear double.
That being said, good pass by Frank.
Yes.
It's not easy to pass. Just because you leave 20 shots when you're up 20 pips in the race. So, strong pass by Frank, even though it was...
Well, you pointed out all the wastage on the ace. Every checker on the ace over 1 counts as 2 pips. So he really wasn't up that much.
True.
If he was clearly up in the race, and he would absolutely win if he was missed, it would be a big take.
Definitely.
Anchor.
Yep.
That's called the golden point. It's worth gold. Who named it the golden point? That's before your time and mine.
Perhaps Paul McGrill, or it's at least in his book. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, if you're not sure, it's usually pretty good to attribute Paul McGrill.
right. So good.
You can't go too wrong by saying I think Paul McGrill came up with that.
Right.
Because most of the really great concepts he did come up with. Roberti's responsible for a few, and Woolsey's had his share too in the old days. And now in the new days, we've got Michi, we've got Mark Olson, and Mochi's new book, which I highly recommend. Go to the Backgammon Galaxy store. Michi's book, I misspoke and said it was out yet because I misunderstood Michi. I thought it was out. It'll be out soon on 5-point match play and cubing.
Yeah, and now, I mean, Victor he must be close to a double already, unless, of course, Frank can deliver somehow.
He's like a 5, not a 5-6 though.
Yeah, probably he can ship it. I think because yeah, this is relatively simple position, but I mean he has a strong board.
He's losing the race by 4 pips.
Well, yeah, but he's got a checker that's relatively awkwardly placed behind a really dangerous structure, and at the same time he's really controlling Frank's offensive side of the board. So yeah,
it's a very good double and a very good take.
Yeah.
I'm going to be tired of saying that because these guys are going to get most of them right.
Yeah, definitely strong players, both of them. So should you hit, I guess, is the question.
Hit is right by only 0.017 or 021. It's really close.
Yeah, it's a question of whether you want to go all in to create your prime or you want
big roll for Frank.
Yeah.
Comes in, hits and covers. That's big. Those are the kind of swings we'll see a lot of. People say they're jokers, but jokers happen all the time. Big rolls happen all the time. That's part of the game. That's why it's so much fun.
Yeah. Anyway, point of Victor's hit there a little bit that he doesn't give Frank many numbers that escape immediately, and we can see that now as well. Even though Frank hit him right back, he's still stuck on the 23 point. Yeah.
He needs a 3-6 to really escape.
Yeah.
That's not much.
Yeah.
One reason you always think about hitting is if you have more interboard points than your opponent, and at the time Victor had 3 interboard points and Thomas had 2, but not only that, Victor's got the rack, the 4, 5, 6 point, and Thomas has Swiss cheese.
True.
And the anchor, having an anchor on the golden point helps you not worry about coming in and getting blitzed.
That's right.
And he's going to continue because of the blot.
Yeah, and also when you face a single back checker that's at the edge of your priming structure, you really want to hit it so it doesn't escape. So
there's a saying that I often use: hit a blot, prime a pair. There's 2 checkers back. You can play a priming game. There's 1 back you probably should be hitting to stop him from escaping, depending on the setup, of course.
Yep.
The 4 is in, and he did it. Very good. You don't want to put a blot out there, give him a chance to hit you, and then escape.
Exactly. Too strong of a board. Frank's board now to leave any shots voluntarily.
Yeah. This play is right. Victor would love to have a 5-3. 4-2 is a beautiful roll also.
It really is.
And Thomas is very stiff. Very stiff, but he's still like to have a 6 to come out.
Yeah. You mean Frank, I suppose.
Frank, I mean, Frank, your time.
I'm not stiff.
Oh, that's right. You're not playing either. Well, I get all you giants mixed up.
Right, and now Victor could leave a shot coming. Okay, he didn't roll the number to do it here, but he would have come out into the outfield, leaving a shot if he had to from the anchor.
Well, why did he leave the shot there instead of the outfield? I think we're seeing the answer right now.
He rolled a 2-1, so there was no other unless he.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
I thought he. Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have gone from the anchor.
The beauty of this also is now. If it was only a single shot, Frank would be tempted to just run. But with a double shot, the odds of getting hit if he comes out are pretty big.
Yeah, and well,
about
the advantage of coming out is obviously if you get missed, you're in great shape.
Yeah.
And the disadvantage if you get hit, you're in terrible shape.
And if you don't come out now, when are you going to do it? It's right to come out. Too.
Right. That's probably the reason that you have to come out, is that even if you don't, it's not like you're in good shape.
There's only 21 shots if you come out. All 4s, 1s, and double 2.
Yeah.
So that means there's 15 numbers.
Yeah. Right. And you're in good shape when you roast those.
You're in horrible shape if he hits you, but again, you have to weigh it against the alternative. If you don't come out now, it's going to get worse. And Victor might come in and hit him off the ace, which makes it really tough for him too.
Yeah, and you might not roll a number to come out, right?
That's right.
I mean, so
well, this play is wrong, but it wasn't terrible.
No, not at all. I mean, for 2 very different game plans, they were relatively close plays. And here you can come off the anchor, taking some risk, perhaps.
And that's the right play.
And that's another way to take risk, which is, of course, better.
Wow.
Because it has much better upside.
Oh, if he doesn't get hit, a 3 or a 6 would be great for Victor next time. But, he does hit. And
covers. Amazing roll, of course.
That's a joker.
Yeah, but otherwise, very good find because leaving the shot elsewhere would have given good 6s and hitting numbers. Now it was just a 6. But he rolled a 6, so...
Now, does Victor wish he hadn't made that play? Hell no. He's happy he made the right play.
Yeah, but now
That's how you have to play the game.
On, I suppose. This is... Yeah, it must be a play on, right?
You get a 3, you get
he can win a gammon. Of course, Victor can come in, and then he can perhaps have a take, but still... Don't you play on here up 55 pips?
Yes, by a lot.
Yeah.
And what you pointed out is if he has a take after coming in, that's a market gainer. There aren't that many of those. He has to roll a 5 something.
He has. I mean, first Frank has to roll a non-hitter and a non-clearing doublet, and then Victor has to enter. Then I suppose he can.
Good decision by Frank. He's too good, and he got his 3. He got rewarded.
Yep.
I know that the score is only 1-2 in a match to 19, but swings like this that are 4 and 6 point swings, I don't care when they happen in the match, they're big. These players aren't thinking this is trivial at all. This is huge.
Of course. I mean, even this early in a match, every point you win is worth, say, 3 or 4% match winning chances. So a swing of 4 points is still a lot. So yeah.
and let's see, if there's $55,000 difference at stake in this match, 3% of 55,000, that's $1,500 a point. I shouldn't be so merciless and callous, but I am.
Right. Okay, he makes the point there. Yeah, sound enough. Of course, you don't want to leave double fives to hit, given how fatal.
It's still too good. There's very little chance of leaving a shot. Oops. Open mouth, insert foot. 2-1.
2-1, and I guess if you want to leave some hitting numbers, it should be double fives because that's just one number, where the others would be more. But you can also leave 0 numbers, which perhaps he's considering.
Yep. Remember how I said at the beginning, I really wanted to see a world champion win, and I was really mad at one of my world champion friends that didn't even enter, standing right here, Mike Svobodny. He didn't enter because he's afraid, right, Mike?
Yeah. And of course...
and it's too far away. He had to walk all the way down the hill to play.
Right. And the point for Frank of actually leaving that shot, I suppose it is much because now Victor's on the bar, so if he's gonna clear the point, it's much easier when he's on the bar, and he only leaves one shot.
Was there any logic to clearing the 6 point there? No, you let him in?
I don't think so.
Give him another way in. Okay,
that looks like the normal.
It would have been bad. Yeah, you give him another chance to come in and chances to leave shots when he does. Okay, this is a race to see whether or not Victor gets gammoned, and I like Frank's odds.
Yeah, I think XG says he's 86% to get G'd now.
There's a formula where you can figure this out, but I forgot it.
Well, it's like a race.
Counting rolls.
So you can, if you can evaluate the race, you can do it for this sort of position as well.
So every roll is about 8 pips, and you can just keep adding them up. 2-1, Frank's. He's going to be ahead 6-1.
So generally, you don't want to miss crossovers, and you don't want to have too many checkers on the same points. But I think at this point, Victor should probably play for letting his high doubles play well, because he needs something like that. Like that one, for example.
Whoa,
that plays pretty well.
That's big. It's very big. He's got a reasonable chance now. His gammons just went down to 42%. He's now favored not to get gammon. That's amazing. That was a huge, huge roll. He needs a big number here. And he got it. That's a big, big number. Now, if he rolls a 5 without a 1 or a 6 without a 1, he's off. And even still, he could get off unless Frank rolls doubles. 5 or a 6 without a 1 or doubles. Nope. He's got to sweat the roll. Double 2 or greater, and he's gammon. Big, big roll, that double 6. He didn't do it. Okay. A sigh of relief. See, they both feel robbed. That's what happens in backgammon. Frank feels robbed he didn't get the gammon. Victor feels robbed he didn't get the win. They both go home unhappy. That's typical backgammon players. I think they're letting the transcriber catch up here.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I'm very proud of Frank Frigo and his partner, Michael Pines, who started the San Diego. They didn't start it, but they've taken over the San Diego club. They're promoting it all over town. They're getting a whole bunch of new players. They got 35 people the last time. It's become a hotbed for backgammon, just like Flint, Michigan, Chicago, New York, Florida. Of course, Florida, thanks to Karen Davis, has the largest backgammon club right now. But I think San Diego can catch us with these two guys promoting it. And that's what it takes to grow the game. Local clubs, bringing in new people, showing them how to play, making them feel comfortable. Don't charge them too much money. Teach them the basics of the game. Don't hustle them. We had a guy in our Chicago club that any new player that walked in, he was all over them trying to take their money. I won't name names, but No, I won't name names. I'm so tempted. I'm such a mean guy. I want to name names.
Yeah. So this play, Victor trying to decide whether to make the 11 or hit loose. Really close place, of course. It's very often right to make an outfield point rather than hit loose in your inner board. But here, he is outboarded, and the outfield point is, after all, the worst outfield point, the 11. So it's somewhat worse.
Why is it the worst?
Oh no, actually, I'm wrong. It's hitting is best.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
It's close. It's close.
Yeah, it's close. But yeah, so that's really why they're
It's the worst
closer,
because
but-
it only is 6 away from one innerboard point, whereas the other outfield points are 6 away or 5 away from several points. So they block more and they are easier to bring in.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're writing a book, aren't you?
I'm writing a book. Yes.
When's it going to be out?
Well, it's let's say in a year, something like that. So not soon.
Yeah, it's all about me. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's most of it, at least.
That's great. I can't wait to read it.
So yeah, not a trivial decision there for Frank, because when you have the advanced anchor and the upper hand, you often want to play a bit safely, but still the double hit was tempting with a stronger board, and I think it was also the best play, but was a difficult decision.
You might notice we're up to a 19-point match now. Most of all the matches before this were 17.
Oh yeah, so
they're going to get longer and longer.
Is the final 21?
I think so.
Okay.
Finals 21.
So if Victor can't enter here, he's in big trouble, but he anchors.
He entered and anchored.
Yeah. And the double aces can make the 8-point, but then again,
where's the last
not
one?
really, no.
Where's the last one?
So actually quite bad rolled.
In Chicago, we call that a yeah, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's he going to do else next?
So, and a blot on the ace point. Not. I think
We'll see it.
show it sometimes on the screen. I think it's like maybe 1.5 to 5. I think
1.54 is the PR
Yeah.
versus 5.
Frank is playing 4. Yeah. So double deuces. Yeah, what point to make? Blocking point or the deuce point? Very, very
Well,
difficult
actually,
choice.
when your
And
opponent is on your 5 point, the 11 is a good blocking point.
It is. So if he would have made another blocking point, it would have been much to be able to play more comfortably for the future. Not so much that it blocks the anchor better.
So you can see
all
at the
right.
bottom that Victor's playing at 1.51, impossible PR. Frank's at 4.15, which is still excellent.
Yeah.
Victor, in the interview last night with Victor, he says, I don't care at all about the PR. I want to win the world championship. Of course. He dropped some cubes he knew where it takes, but he felt that was the right thing to do given the situation, and I love that. Lots of people think that we're putting too much emphasis on extreme gammon and PR. We miss the good old days when you didn't know what was right, and everybody had different styles. The game is still, I think, as or more fun now.
Yeah.
And the game is growing like crazy because of it.
Yeah. Well, I guess the main thing is to drop something that you know is a take as an adjustment. That is one thing. Another thing is rationalizing your mistakes as adjustments.
Sure. In Victor's, in Sanders' first match, he took a long time to give a cube that was a huge pass, and he got a fairly inexperienced player to take it, a 0.4 take. So there's some poker in this game, and Sanders certainly knows how to play poker. And he applied it to backgammon as well. I think there's a guy named Gus Hansen who knows how to play poker and plays a little backgammon too. In fact, there's quite a few. If you start looking at all the very top poker players, you'd be surprised how many of them are really good backgammon players. Phil Locke, Daniel Negreanu, Eric Seidel, of course. Eric Seidel is one of the winningest players in the history of poker, and he would be a monster at backgammon if he stayed with it. He is a monster. He still is. Mike told me he still is.
So a nice pay now, prime making play by Frank.
Yes.
And now he's in great shape. Yeah, he ships it nicely from the bar, I think, with so many shots.
It is a take, though.
This is not an easy cube to take. I mean,
I would have passed it.
I mean, it's clear that you can win a lot of games, but it just looks very, very dangerous.
Wow.
Of course, Frank is up 4-1, and I think that is probably what makes
it. He passed it. You can't fault him. It's only a 5% error.
Yeah, and
5.055 error. And by the way,
I think it was even less than that at a higher analysis setting. But I mean, regardless of exactly what the equity is according to XG, I think is a very difficult take, and it was also very, very close. So, but good cube by Frank nonetheless.
By the way, a 5% error on a cube is nothing. It's not that big at all.
Exactly.
Because cubes are hard, and if you make a little mistake, it's a big PR and equity swing. But mentally, it's not that big a mistake at all.
Exactly. You can easily make a 0.05 mistake and still have a very solid understanding of the position. Yeah.
What's your PR, Thomas? Overall in the BMAB, you're under 3, aren't you?
Yeah, in the BMAB, I'm at a 2.8, I think.
And isn't your cube PR higher than your checker play?
Yeah, I think it is for
it's true of almost everybody.
Yeah.
So don't think you made a 5% error. In fact, I think XG should weigh it differently. Should weight it differently.
All right.
5-1 is a nice start for Frank.
Yep, and Victor looking to take a guy off his 24 point, but also to hit, of course, so he'll do that.
I've said this before. At this score, you wouldn't think it makes a big difference, but you start putting cubes in, and a take for money could be a huge take or pass or not double when you're at this level at 5-1.
Yeah, especially the recubes.
Yes,
that they change a lot. So yeah. And here he probably wants to activate the checkers on the 24. Never good almost to have more than 2 checkers on the 24 point.
And Thomas brought up a good thing, the recube. That's one of the things that makes backgammon so much fun. When you give someone a cube, they can use that cube if they got it at 2 to turn it to 4. The player who gave it away can't do it again. In poker, you can make a bet, and next time you can still make another bet from either side. So that's one thing that's unique about the cube. I use the doubling cube when I play gin rummy, golf, when I shoot pool. It's just such an incredibly fun betting tool, and even if you're not betting money, if you're just playing match play, it just adds so much to the game.
Yeah, very big hit from Victor, and now he has the upper hand.
Quite a bit.
Yeah.
Especially since there's no good 5. He's still leaving shots.
Yep, but his guys stuck on the 24 points still make him have a lot of work to do here.
But he would like a 6. 6-1. Oh, he's got a choice.
Solid.
Yeah.
It's really solid.
No, he wouldn't make the bar because he'd have to leave too many blots. And hitting is usually right.
True.
You got to make the...
He has a couple good aces.
Got to make the 8.
Is best, of course.
One of my mentors I forgot to mention that really helped me for years, Jake Jacobs. I love what he says. A point's a point. A pip's a pip. It's that simple.
Yeah, it really is that simple. Okay, so Victor's got Frank pretty nicely hemmed in, but on the other hand, he doesn't
have a lot of builders. He doesn't have a lot of
and he has
robustness
3 checkers back there himself.
Yeah,
I mean, it's his advantage is smaller here than many people would think. I think. I mean.
Yeah, he's only got a 10% edge in this match right here. In this game, I mean.
Okay. Yeah.
55-44.
So he can escape a prime, or he can make the 3-point. It's actually 2 pretty good things.
Well, one is much bigger than the other.
Escaping the prime is big, but it's just making the 3 is such an efficient play as well. I mean, it's not like he has 5 builders there aimed at the 3-point.
There's only two ways to make that point: double 5 and 5-3, and he just wasted one of them.
Yeah.
That was
but it's
pretty big error.
Yeah, it's not that easy. I mean, he runs out in front of a stripped midpoint, and he really wants to escape a checker there.
It's very easy for me because I can see XG. I know exactly what to do.
Right, right. And here, the best play by a lot is coming off the 23-point, but that also takes some guts to do. But I think the hint is that everything else plays so extremely poorly.
Somebody asked me who's left in the fighters bracket. I won't do it in the middle of this game, but I took a picture of the screen. The most advanced player in the fighters bracket right now is Morten Holm, an amazing player. And he's doing a book on this. You can go to his website and you can bet on just about anything and anybody. I've already lost money doing it. I think Morten got killed last year when a lot of people bet on Sander and he took the bets.
So, Frank in trouble. And pretty interesting cube decision.
Yes, very interesting. Morton's website, by the way, if you want to place a bet, clubgourmet.dk. So,
yep.
Frank is thinking about doubling. He's got a direct 6 hit. Oh, he rolled. I'm sorry. 5-3.
Yeah. He tries to take some desperate initiative. Very, very nice play, actually, because it was hit or get hit. Or now it's probably going to be both. But
this is what we call a tempo hit. He's trying to keep the tempo away from Victor to give him his full roll. The full roll could hurt a lot.
So many numbers that could have pointed on him otherwise.
Yeah. This is a big double and a big take.
Yeah.
And this is a hard take for me. I know it's a big take, but the take is almost always harder than the double in these kind of games. All right, he took it. Good for him. He sees a lot of life.
The key is that he is not on the bar. I mean, in these sort of positions where you could get blitzed, not being on the bar yet.
Are we going to see a switch play?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
It's either that. Yeah, exactly. It's either that.
Such a good prime.
It's either that or making the prime. Yeah.
It's such a big priming play. Such a gorgeous prime.
Yeah.
Five primes are almost as good as 6 primes. Did you know that?
I didn't know that,
but
know
it's you should put that in your book.
Nice to know.
You should put that in your book.
And
they're better than 4 primes. And a 5 prime is really worth a lot, especially when your opponent has 3 checkers behind it. But he's looking at the switch play, which isn't terrible, which was my gut reaction, by the way.
Yeah, and it is quite difficult to choose between 2 plays of relatively different nature, like
completely different. Yeah. One's blitzing and one's priming. Totally different game plans.
So it's not like one of them obviously dominates the other. The computer says that the priming play is better, but not by a lot.
4%. 4%. Okay, he made the right play, which is going to be, you're going to be tired of my saying that because these guys are so good.
Yeah, excellent move. Excellent move.
In and out.
But still, Frank with a decent priming game of his own. Of course, he didn't want to get hit on his ace point, but it's not all bad because it improves his priming game.
Do you make the 3-point here? Do you break your prime? You do.
I think you have to because, you could also have put a builder on the 5 point.
It's close. It's
close. That's not obvious. It's not obvious by any means.
When there's a checker on the bar, and every interboard point is big because he's more likely to dance and have less flexibility coming in. This is not that clear. It's close.
I think the argument perhaps for making the 3-point is a little bit that you're very advanced compared to Frank. So you're not primarily playing a priming game at this point. Your main game plan is racing and to an extent blitzing, and Frank is actually the one with the timing advantage as far as priming. So
I see.
But I mean, to me, it's a very difficult choice because you give up I mean, look at the blocking structure he has now. It's not easy to give up on that. I think both plays made a lot of sense there.
The hit or up, again, are two totally different concepts, and they're close.
Yeah.
You can do either one.
Both of them are things you really want to do. So if you hit on the 5 point, you slot a great point, and you take away his only checker that could escape with a single die, right? And if you come up, you finally have a guy of your own that can either challenge or escape. So this time it looks natural to me to make the 3 point. Actually, it seems, yeah. This keep okay. Fair enough, because this, of course, it keeps the priming structure, but this looks a little bit unnatural. But in the short term, it is strong, of course. So a tactical move.
2 down is right here. You keep the structure. It's all about structure.
Okay, so you don't shift from the 9 to the 5, and I suppose that is because you want to keep blocking the 22-point guy, or at least that should be part of it.
Yeah, if he was at the edge of the prime and the 3 point, it would be a different play. He could hit and then hope to roll some 6s, but now it's just too hard to get out. He's got a prime.
But on second thought, it's actually also that he blocks the 21-point guy. The fact that he can only jump out with 6s and not also 5s, that is actually huge. He probably tactically just wants to hope that Victor crashes immediately. He can't roll a 5 or a 6. But not an easy play. I mean, it's so natural to cover our 5 point when we have it slotted. So
especially when you're leaving a double shot when you don't.
This looks unnatural to be playing a priming game and put guys on your ace point. It's usually not what you want to be doing. But it follows the plan that keeps this structure. So this is kind of a variant of the best play. It was just that it was better to keep it slotted than put it on the ace. But he kept his structure, which was the right idea. Of course, very strong number for Victor.
This is a great number.
Yeah.
Comes up and out.
Yeah, question is here, do you give up or do you try to win? I mean,
if you give up, you
both
play
ideas
safe.
make sense. Both ideas make sense.
Well, he's trying to win, and so at XG.
Yeah, the play he's looking at now, of course, going to win more, but it's also going to be painful when you don't win. So
I think Victor should shake more.
yeah.
See what good it did him?
Right. The difficult thing for Frank when it comes to winning this priming battle is the guy on his ace point. That's really liability.
Well, not being at the edge of the prime is a killer too, with 3 checkers.
Of course. But in his front,
Yeah.
in the front,
He's
part
got a
of his
problem on
position.
both sides.
Yeah. But he hit the checker there of Victor's, which was very important because that checker could have moved freely otherwise, and so Victor could never have gotten stuck back there. But that's a risk he actually faces now if he's really unlucky here.
I guess you cover, and it's cover and hit, but it's close. It's close. Prime versus prime checker plays are, to me, the hardest part of the game. Defending back game plays are tough, but prime versus prime, man, move 1 checker, 1 pip, and you're all of a sudden you got a blunder.
That's very true. I mean, they both faced some tricky decisions in this game.
I hit and come up with the ace. You got to get those back checkers moving. And by the way, here I am. For once, I'm right. You got to hope to win this way by getting some time and getting your checkers up and out.
Yeah.
I made
It does 2 thematic things. It comes up to the edge of the prime, and it hits off the edge of your own primes.
Right.
Even though your own so-called prime has a made ace point with it.
I'm surprised that before this roll, he had 38% winning chances. Wouldn't have thought it was that high.
No.
It certainly went down now.
Yeah, it's because now Victor's risk of crunching has almost gone to 0, which was...
And Frank's risk of crunching is very high. By crunching, we mean he's going to waste checkers and throw them down to his lower points where he doesn't want them.
Yeah.
We're not talking about the cereal. Isn't there a crunch cereal? Yeah, I think there is.
So, I don't know. Does Victor even want to enter?
Maybe he's trying to roll so much to make sure he knocks the 4s off the dice.
Mm.
He didn't do a very good job of it. He's got to hit. Got to keep your prime. Automatic play. Not a bad roll, though. Unless you get hit back.
Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of G's now. All of
He's going to cover with a 5 and come out with everything else. Does he any cover with a 4 also? Nothing. Oh, this is a nothing roll.
2-1, yeah.
Bring them both in from the 7 point. You get the most builders. Most people break the 8 here, but you get more builders by breaking the 7. More covers for the point.
Yeah, and the 7 can be a bit awkward sometimes.
Why is it a tie
against the 23?
Why is it a tie? I would have thought the 7 was much better to get those 2 to get more covers.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess if you count. Oh, what's this? Whenever I see them make a play I wouldn't consider, that reminds me how dumb I am for not even considering. Even if it's wrong, I don't even consider it. Oh, no, I don't. Yeah, there is argument for lifting, certainly.
Yeah, but it's a little bit awkward now for Victor because with his prime crumbling a bit, he really doesn't want to get hit now. Yeah. Before he didn't really mind.
Remember earlier I told you how mad I was that one world champion didn't enter, and that's Mike, and I'm also mad at Nesvat for losing. Another world champion that's here that I was rooting for.
Okay, lifts. Yeah. It's an understandable play. Very ugly to get hit there.
Yeah.
And that's an ugly roll as well, even though it's
why do you
also
clear
good in a way.
I was going to think, why do you clear the 5 instead of the 3? It's close, so it's not worth worrying about.
Yeah.
You're less likely to leave shots by clearing the 5, I think, later. But you have a better structure by clearing the 5, the 3, I mean. Close. I wouldn't know how to make this play.
Oh, I mean, one thing that can be said for clearing the 5 is, of course, that the checkers that you moved, I mean, the spares, they can be used again.
For
right?
1s and 2s, I see.
But but on the other hand, if you make the other play, you can somehow use the checkers that are left on the 5 point. So I don't know. But it was also, I don't know. I think it's also that you kind of want to crunch as well as possible. You do. Usually right to clear from the rear when you have to.
Five is big here. 5 could be a big number for Gammons, and he got it.
He did. Hit. And he's
coming out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Suppose so. Double deuces, I guess, hurt a little bit, and 10-6 wasn't very instructive. Yeah, out. As dangerous as it looks, not coming out is just worse. So yeah, you have to come out. The other play, crunching.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
not a good play.
Now that we can see the numbers, this is like a little bit classic when you look at the XG output. You think you don't want to come out because you don't want to get hit and get gammoned, but often like crunching your board gets you gammoned just as much. So yeah, you don't want to crunch if you can help it. And of course, also staying behind that structure of Victor's.
Yeah, but here's what happened. You get hit loose there, and then he makes the point. Gammons go way up. 1s and 5s. There's the 5. Back checker.
Yeah, and almost no winning chances for Frank here. Down so much in the race, you need to contain your opponent, which is virtually impossible with that sort of board. So,
Oh, here you clear the 8 points. Slightly better. Not huge. As long as he's on the bar, bring him in. Because if he comes in with a 2 now, you could run into problems next time with a 6-1. Or
yeah, but then again, the problems aren't huge.
No.
I think that's one of the reasons it's not a big deal
Yeah.
to bring him in.
Okay.
Because if you leave a shot and you get hit, well, most likely you win anyway.
Yeah. 2-5.
Mm-hmm. Six, 2. Okay.
Not his best come-in roll, but if I were Victor here, I wouldn't be complaining.
No, you don't want to stack checkers on your ace point against this 23-point anchor, but you know.
6-4.
get everything
6-4 is the horror shake here.
Yeah, double aces is excellent.
You clear the 6.
Yeah,
You do.
and take 2 guys off. So
'Cause you're probably going to get gammons anyway, so don't take too many risks.
that's true. The gammon race looks very good for Victor. So probably the main risk that he doesn't win a gammon is that he gets hit. And usually you want to rip guys off your ace point against the deuce point anchor, but you can't here when he's on the bar, obviously.
You see what Victor just did? He took the forced move first and then looked at the rest.
Yeah.
It's always what you should do. If you have a forced move, take it. Then try to figure it out.
Yeah.
And here it's right to peel.
Yeah. Again, it's like you don't want to put the guys up there on the ace point because, well, basically, even if you do get hit, it's extremely important to have 3 more guys off.
Ooh.
So he does that. It's probably safe for not getting hit in the long term, but it's so much worse both when you get hit
Yeah.
and when you don't get hit.
Well,
that it
if
becomes
your
worse.
opponent's board was better, I would do this. But with that board, I wouldn't be afraid to peel.
Yeah.
Matt Congiris in the chat, he's the one that taught me the biggest mistake most people make bearing off is not peeling.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Victor knows this. He's going to make the right play. I'm giving 17-1 odds.
Whoa.
Not for money.
Nice odds.
Not for money, though. Oh, wow. Putting it back. He feels he's got the gammon anyway. Not a good play for Victor.
No.
For one thing, he can leave a shot now with 2 high numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. And he can not win a gammon
Yeah.
even if he doesn't get hit. I think
That cost him
that's a
gammons.
pretty big deal.
That cost him gammons.
Yeah.
There's a funny roll. Now does Tommen move both checkers off? I would move both checkers off the 2 so that a 2 leaves a shot. Leaves a double shot.
Yeah.
Yes. 6-2, 5-2, 4-2. They all leave double shots.
You're smart, Phil.
I'm smarter than I look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's this amoeba play that Michi wrote about in his book.
Michi's got great terms. I love this.
Splits, you know.
Oh, he didn't roll the 3.
No.
But
So it's like-
the other advantage, though, now is he's getting a double shot because he split.
Yep.
So he's got twice as many ways to hit. And he got it. Now picture Victor with 3 more checkers off. He would be a lot more comfortable now.
Certainly, yeah. Although he's still actually in good shape, but yeah. Problem for Frank is he'll never be able to create a structure that Victor can escape. Because
Don't say never. There's 4
Well-
checkers left and there's 2 open points.
All right,
I've
all
seen it all the time. Hardly ever.
hardly ever. Sorry.
What, never? No, never. Well, hardly ever. What show is that from? I love that song. I think it's from My Fair Lady.
So Frank trying to put his checkers in the outfield so that Victor can't, so that when Victor comes in, he's able to hit him back, yeah? like this. Now he has a triple shot.
I believe Victor has 4 checkers off, and he's hitting.
Yeah, it's difficult to see and to be sure.
I like 15-14. It covers more of the outfield in case Victor pops in and out to the outfield. And it's right.
Yep.
I've been working on containment games for about 40 years, and I'm starting to get good at it. Well, kind of good.
Yeah, they're very. They can be very difficult. This position is not one of the most exotic ones so far, at least.
Every dance is very, very helpful for Frank to get off the gammon. Just bring it in.
Bring it in from the 14, you
Nope.
mean? Or-
Yep, that's 2% error. It's supposed to come out.
Yeah, I think the back guys should join the other guys for covering the outfield area.
Makes sense.
So that makes sense. And then what with the deuce? I don't know.
There's a lot of close plays here.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's not clear
Yeah.
why one would be much better. This one has the problem of not having your checkers on as many points, so it's going to be harder to hit perhaps. But it has the advantage that double 3s and double 6s close the board, or not close, but make the 5 point. And also, of course, if you roll 6-5, it would have blocked him. So. Yeah, perhaps he's thinking about putting a guy on his 10 points, since double 5s for Victor would be awesome anyway. So getting hit there maybe less of a deal than on other points.
Maybe a bonus. You get another shot.
Right, and at least it's not costly. So yeah.
And it's also shooting at the 5 point, which is the next point you really want to make. I like this.
Yeah.
XG likes it too.
Yeah.
In and out.
Okay, triple shot again.
Yeah, it's impossible to miss this one, right?
Yeah, triple shot has never been missed in the
Impossible, never
history of
been missed.
backgammon.
Oh, look.
That's the first time.
Actually, he's not out of the race. He's off the gammon, but he's not off the race.
Incredibly enough, if he rolls double 6 again, at least.
This is a pretty good sequence for Frank to get to here.
Yeah.
He was getting gammoned a lot.
Yeah.
Victor might kick himself later for not peeling. I guess if you're Victor, you don't kick yourself. You try to forget about the junk, the bad stuff. I think he has 5 off.
I think so too. Yeah. XG
Hard to
says
say.
75% or something.
Yeah. He needs a 6. That's a 6. It's hard to tell how many checkers are off in these situations.
Yeah, it seems to be 5, perhaps, looking at the bear-off tray in XG.
Okay.
So it's probably 7 off now.
Big favorite. Unless there's some doubles here. Okay. That's not the doubles he wants. He's not out of this game by a long shot. And one of the reasons you peel is in case this happens. If he had 3 more checkers off now, this would be almost gin.
Exactly. It's this and the gammon race,
Right.
basically. Yeah.
Right. He really blew that play. I'm not going to rub it in because Victor...
You've only said it 5 or 6 times, I think.
Have I?
Yeah. No.
If he listens to this later, he's going to come over and hit me. He's much bigger than I am. Well, when I'm right about something, 5 and 6 is low. Well, we're into the range where he has to roll doubles. And it has to be double 3s or higher. Could he have given himself double 2s?
No, didn't matter.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
He would have had enough.
Yeah.
Right.
He needs
Would have
double
had
threes
one
or
checker
higher.
less off.
Threes or higher. Dice God likes to tease you. There were two rolls, two doubles that don't help, and that was one of them. That Dice God is a meanie. Why are you so strict? Why do you make things so hard for us? Don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to play on Backgammon Galaxy. We've got a new app. We've got a new service. Be a little patient if you have some trouble getting in. It's amazing how many of these players here in Monte Carlo spend their spare time playing on Backgammon Galaxy. Because it has that XG feed and the point system, it's really fun. And you can play for money there, too. You can't play me for money, though. I'm smart enough to know.
That's so 3-5 now plays essentially like 0-0, right, Phil? Not a big difference,
Yep,
at least.
I agree.
I mean, big difference now compared to 1-5. And Victor again establishing that 6-5-4 structure as he's done in several of the games so far. Still needs some sort of improvement to consider doubling, obviously. Probably wants to see daylight and come out, even though it puts him under some pressure.
They're both playing around 3 PR, which is really great. We've had some very complicated checker play and cube decisions.
Yeah, great match so far. And yeah, Frank wants to come out, of course, but then he leaves a shot, and he can hit twice or something instead.
Hitting twice could be right.
Yeah.
Hitting twice is very wrong. 6-5.
So 6-5. Of course, running even stronger than usual because you only have two guys on the midpoint. So, okay.
I got to take a little break.
Yep.
Joe.
Okay. Come on. Okay. Hi, Thomas. How are
Hi,
you?
Joe. Hi, Joe. Joe Russell with me now instead of Phil Simborg. Yeah. So,
Sorry.
Victor wants to stay back now that he's getting blitzed, right?
Yes.
Plays 11-10. And that's sort of an air ball, I guess, for Frank. He can hit loose, but what about...
If he plays the 5, what about the 3? And if he plays the 3, what about the 5?
Exactly. It's not what he wanted to roll. Yeah, there is. We can see now what XG suggests that makes sense. You can actually make a point and hit loose. Yeah, you just don't hit loose on the guy that you want, and you give up another point. So it's not super attractive. It's just that everything is even worse. Can be pretty tricky in this sort of situation to find what is.
Absolutely.
What things you even can do, right? To see all the possible plays. Understandably takes his time. Okay, finds another loose play, loose hit, but doesn't make a point, so that's why it's a little bit worse. But yeah, it's the guy that you want to hit loose, of course. The four guy.
Leaving himself with 5 lots with this play.
It is, and
A little too bloody.
Victor considering doubling from the bar, which is understandable because he has a lot of shots, and if he hits, Frank is in really big trouble. So
It actually was a double. Look.
it was a double, yeah. That makes sense. And as we can see now, could become a massive pass depending on whether Frank dances or not. He doesn't. He rolls a good number. So Victor's kind of fine doubling now, I suppose, given the sequence.
I think this is still a very strong double.
It is. I mean, just with all those numbers that make your bar point, right?
Yeah.
And just even if you don't, you're still a big favorite.
Well,
so-
well, you got the numbers to make the bar point. You got the 5s that hit loose. You got the 3s that anchor.
Yeah, exactly. So, bet he's going to double now, given that he considered it
Is it
before
a take?
last
Is the
roll.
question.
Right.
Is it
Well,
a take?
Yeah. I guess it's a take.
Yeah, it's a take.
But
there it is.
but it's I mean he
A
has
very powerful double.
he has the board and the
He
race
has,
and
he has too many market losers to take a shake here. He could make the bar point, followed by a bad shake by Frank, hit a 5, followed by a bad shake, anchor, followed any of these things. If Frank doesn't respond, he loses his market by a long way.
Yeah, and also like you said before, posting the question, is it a take? That is also by Woolsey's law a very good argument for doubling if it's not super clear that it's a take. But maybe to Victor it is clear that it's a take. I don't know. Anyhow, okay, the problem you could say about all of those good numbers is he can't do everything at once.
No.
So if he makes the 7 point, well, he can get blitzed and you know, Frank has some chances there. Yeah. So you can see that Frank has chances, but
Victor's best numbers are probably just hitting the 5.
yeah, something like double 5s. I mean, that must be very
Well, double
good.
5 is super.
Yeah,
Just even like 5-2 is a very good shot.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah, so there you go. He did pass. It was
and
wasn't-
understandably so. It was not an easy take by any means.
It was not an easy for human take. We look at
Right.
it. It's an easy take.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just looking at the equity, but it's not one of these standard
No.
textbook type positions.
No,
right?
very tough. I didn't.
It's like,
That's why I was asking. Is it a take?
Yeah.
So Frank's leading 5-4. Very tough, hard-fought match here. I guess Frank's was playing at a pretty exceptional PR, but he missed that 5-3 play and missed the take here.
Yeah, exactly. Mistakes in difficult spots, I would say,
Absolutely,
and
very understandable.
So yeah, does Victor want to step up to get into contact with that blot, or does he want to unstack and get the cover for his prime and slot? Not a trivial decision by any means either. Difficult. And with an early advantage immediately to Victor again. I mean, just a small improvement away from sending the cube here, or is it already? No?
I don't think so.
Okay. Not his best roll, but Frank needs to come in.
Well, that's in with the force.
Yeah. I guess he's a favorite, maybe.
Yeah, makes him a favorite.
Yeah. So, oof. Yeah. Still not enough to ship a cube, right?
No, I don't
Given
think
that.
so. Oh, it is a
Oh,
double.
it was. Okay.
Well, I was on the same page as you.
Yeah. That was my spontaneous instinct for sure. But of course.
Sometimes when momentum shifts like this, you don't grasp that you've become such a favorite.
That's true. But one thing I usually do over the board is whenever my opponent dances, I usually stop a second to think whether it could be a double. I think that's good practice in general.
I think it's fantastic practice. So many times I've rolled on in those situations without pausing, like when the momentum shifts like that. And sometimes you're just so happy, you just,
Yeah.
And the same, even sometimes you double too quickly when the momentum may have shifted and it's too good. You should always pause after those and
Right.
digest the new position properly.
Yeah. but that can be pretty difficult for checker plays as well when your game plan shifts
Sure.
as a consequence of some change like that. But now, I mean, this is still a really powerful position for Frank, just because it's difficult for Victor to have good counterplay with his structure.
This has to be a double here.
Yeah, because even though he has that checker back there, it's going to be so hard for Victor to contain it.
Did you see the double equity? They show it?
I didn't see it, no.
Here we
Okay,
go.
it's
Yeah.
Seems it's a double, yeah. Not a huge double because it's not a very volatile position, I suppose.
Blake, have a seat if you want. I don't want to stand up. Okay. Did you win your match?
11-1 against O'Hagan.
You won?
Yeah.
I won 11-4 against Peter Jess Thompson.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I guess Victor was looking to either anchor or hit back, and now, yeah, understandably, given that it was a double before the roll, and now Frank improved considerably, yeah, then we have a pass now. It's also because it's now very easy for him to escape the guy, and he can win some Gs, so...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Even his bad numbers can double hit inside.
Right, right. And even in these variations where Victor anchors, it is still pretty close to double, I suppose. So, yeah. And
22 here.
yeah, you don't want to leave the direct shot by making the 7-point as you often do with double aces, right?
Right.
Okay.
That's the reason in the United States we prefer die on checker.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who did not like that rule at first, but they've come to love it.
Yeah. I'm kind of one of them, actually.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm glad
yeah.
to hear that. I think they should even go further and make it predominant die rules. So you don't even have to ever get a ruling whether something's cocked or not. Because how many times have you ever seen a cocked die where it wasn't clear what number was predominant? Like 1 out of a million cocked die maybe or something?
Right. I agree. So it's a difficult decision here for Victor whether he should really run or just split, because I mean he puts a guy in front of a huge stack and he liked to play 13-11 to contain one checker, but XG really liked this running play, so excellently played by him. I'm not sure I fully get why that's just as good as 24-18, 13-11. So it was a really strong play by Victor. But now, more clear that you want to step up to
I think he
escape
would
the
have
last
done
checker,
24-18, 13-11 if he did not have to leave a man on the 23 point. I think it
Oh
makes
yeah,
it a double hit.
he was creating. He didn't create good sixes by playing it as you usually do. Yeah, good point. I didn't see that actually, but yeah, you're right. That's a very good point. So so Victor correctly stepped up but got punished for it, and now. Okay.
Great
okay.
shot. Makes his 5 point.
Yeah.
Makes his 8 point. Yeah.
Yep. Equalizes.
Wow. What a response.
Yeah.
Just play 13-8 with the last one. Obviously.
Yep. Not much else
I'm not
attractive.
going to slide inside.
And
Key roll for Victor here. If he,
yeah, it doesn't want to dance.
If he fans,
for
the
sure.
game's over.
Is
That
it
should
over?
be it. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay.
Both sides rolled a couple of impressive jokers there, which you're likely to be doing when you're winning 8 matches or 7 matches and playing for the undefeated final.
Yep. If you just keep going like that. Yeah, so Victor plays nice response there. which was not the best response at 0-0, but because he is down slightly, it is now best between two very close plays, right?
Yes.
Yeah, 4-2, not the roll you want, but maybe after all, put the checker in front of the anchor. So,
Sure. Like you can bust the anchor to hit.
yeah, right. I guess in this spot,
And you're slotting a blocking point.
right, good point. I guess in this spot, Victor's not super unhappy to go from the anchor
No.
either. So the argument was weaker than normal, but it seemed like a good play.
That was equal with bar 18.
Oh, okay. So he didn't have to hit loose there necessarily. I think it was a very natural move by
Yeah.
Frank for sure. Usually right to fight for your high points in the early
A
going.
good shot.
Yeah,
Anchors and makes
Yep.
the point.
natural play. And now this, for a while, this will be a simple game waiting for doubles, basically. Or no, it won't. Oh, okay. He made that play. Yeah, so classic in these positions, the person that has the timing advantage has a racing deficit, so
Right.
it makes it usually
This is
relatively
about a 3 to
even.
2 game with Frank having a slight advantage.
Yeah, simply because Victor's board isn't much of a threat so far, right? If he makes it a bit stronger here,
And he
He's-
has
Yep.
like a one shake racing advantage
yeah,
as well.
yeah, exactly. So, but if Victor can build his board without the race changing much, he will slowly get closer to even here as Frank runs out of timing. Okay, yeah. With the racing deficit, he chooses to leave the shot rather than give up some distribution. Sensible, but not trivial when your opponent has such a strong board as Frank's. Yeah,
8-6, 8-3 was slightly preferred. Get a little bit better distribution, less awkward, fewer awkward rolls coming up.
yeah. But his play looked good, I think.
it's
And Victor again risking a few shots in order to keep his checkers in good spots.
this clear. Yeah. I don't think he wants to risk shots anymore, though.
Nope.
Pretty close to an even game here.
Yes, the race is relatively close now as well. So okay, interesting 5-2. Quickly place it safely. I guess with how strong Frank's board is, you can't risk leaving anything. But
Now, this is an interesting play. I think he might be right to go ahead and break the 7-point.
yeah, okay, 3-2. I thought it was 3-1. Yeah.
Okay, 7-point would be an error. Breaking the 7. I was thinking 7-2 might be right. But
Yeah, because all these plays have different things going for them. It's not an easy choice. This one obviously doesn't leave a shot. So, okay, and 4-3 now. Can you risk leaving something like running or playing 13-6? Yeah,
I
you
think I
can
would play-
apparently.
yeah.
It's also because if you don't have a threat.
You've got to
if-
play somewhere. If you don't roll a 2, it's really bad for you. For Frank. If,
Yeah, exactly. And if
he's got to
Vic-
basically roll a double or a 2.
yeah, and if Victor played them into his inner board, then Frank wouldn't have had to be scared of anything. So
Right.
that's I think also a big point here is to never have too weak of a board in these sort of positions. Yeah, this also makes sense. leaves a little more but keeps the anchor. But I think it's
It leaves too many hits without solving your future problems.
Yeah, yeah.
This solves a lot of his future problems.
Yeah, and makes it somewhat more awkward for Frank to play, I guess.
Yeah, Frank doesn't roll a double or a two. That's what's he going to shake here? You know, maybe he clears the 7-point. I don't know.
Right.
There's the
Okay,
two.
he can hit cleanly. Yeah.
No.
Okay,
yeah,
he's
the two,
considering that.
Yeah, and he's got to play 13-7. He can't burn that checker.
Right, but he was considering coming off the anchor, I think, perhaps. But yeah, this play was best.
Okay, now what's going on?
Yeah, now we should have cube action, perhaps. He is up by so much. And can really win the game here.
Okay, it's a big double and a take.
Yeah. So generally important to double when you can almost secure the game win, right?
I think with here he just comes down with the 5.
Yeah, I mean now it can all of a sudden become a little bit a question of what makes it most guaranteed that you can cash
absolutely.
next time.
Right.
I guess
2015.
here he leaves 4-3 and he leaves 4-1. And I guess also 4-4, but that's it. With the other one, what does he leave there?
He leaves 4-3 and 4-4.
Yeah,
seemed
yeah,
like the other play would have been
but
better.
also sort of 4-5 and 4-6 in that variation, I suppose, because then he
Right.
just
You're right.
jumped
You're right.
out.
That's a good point.
Now he doubles, and it's an
It's
easy
too
pass
good.
here for
It's
Victor.
too good.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah.
I don't want to limit your
That's again where he didn't take the time to reassess the situation.
Yeah,
He should take the time. Always take the time to reassess the situation. The position went from a huge take to too good on Victor's dance. But you, a lot of times, are just so happy. Okay, I've reached the double now. You don't realize that it's too good.
right. I understand what you're saying. And that is also, we could also see exactly why it was such a big double, is that after a good sequence, he is all of a sudden too good, and it's a monster pass. Yeah, that is why he could have doubled roll before. Never quite so easy in practice, of course, because if he had suffered a bad sequence, it would have been an even game. So, yeah.
Looks like they're taking a short break.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with both of these players? Highly familiar?
I'm not. I don't know a lot about Frank. I know obviously he won the world championships in the past, and I know he had some good results and plays really well. But I don't really know him that well. But Victor, I know pretty well. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Frank is a very fine player and a real gentleman. He's from San Diego, and I've known him for like 40-something years. And he's one of the most liked and friendly players in the U.S. And everybody knows who Victor is and how strong a player he is.
Of course, one of the very best in the world.
Top 5, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I have no idea where he ranks, or but he's got to be right up there.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
And he's had a
amazing player.
phenomenal year this year too.
Yeah. Has had a lot of tournament wins and high finishes and excellent performances in general, as usual. Yeah. So, yeah, going to be an interesting rest of the match as well. And was it 7-4 or 8-4 now for in Frank's
I think
favor?
8-4.
Yep. So it's enough to matter a little bit to the cube action. Frank should be somewhat more conservative when there are some gammons around, and especially as far as recubes. But let's see.
What's wrong with Phil, by the way?
I don't know. I mean, I think his stomach was bad
Okay.
earlier today. So,
What's the PRs?
I don't know
I
actually.
think Victor is in the mid to low 3s, and Frank I think might be in 6-ish or something like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, he was playing well, then made a few big mistakes, and then jumped up. I'm sure it's gonna come down again.
Yeah, it
so
might be 6 or 7 right now.
okay,
but
was that,
I'm sure
was
by
that
by the end of the match, he'll be down in 4 range or something.
yeah. Yeah.
How long have you been playing backgammon, Thomas? I mean, you're also one of the top 10
Yeah.
players in the world, probably.
Yeah, I've been playing since 2012, 11 years.
Okay, so that's not that long. How old are you?
I'm 40.
Okay. And how did you learn the game?
I learned it from my girlfriend at the time in my early 20s, actually.
Okay.
Then didn't play for a while and then took it up later. So, yeah. So,
You ever come across the same girlfriend now?
yeah, once in a while. We live in
Okay.
the same city, so,
Okay.
yeah.
And what city do you live in?
It's in Malmo in the south of Sweden.
Okay.
So-
And do you play with
So-
Jürgen very often?
Not a lot because he lives in Stockholm, which is some 600 kilometers from
Okay.
where I live. So
Alright.
usually if I play locally, it's usually in Denmark actually because they have a pretty nice backgammon scene in Copenhagen, which is really close to Malmo. So
How far?
it's about some, I don't know, could be like 50 kilometers from city center to city center.
Oh,
maybe.
really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And who do you play with there? What top players do you play with in Copenhagen?
Yeah, there were very many of them. This could be like Thomas Christensen, Steen. Yeah, used to be
Grønbæk.
Grønbæk. Now Steen Mikkelsen. He changed names. He got
Changed
married.
his name.
Yeah.
His wife's last name?
I think he changed to his old last
Oh,
name.
okay.
And yeah. Anyway, and also his wife's name. Yeah,
Okay.
both of them. Yeah. Anyway, Thomas Muir. Yeah, a lot of
Very
really
strong
strong
group.
Danish top players because they have a team competition in Denmark where a lot of the strongest players are playing. So and Malmo have a team in this division. So Malmo players get to play a lot in Copenhagen. Anyway, they seem
we
like
go.
they're starting.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah.
How did you get so strong? What do you attribute? What are your
Well, I think it's difficult to say what has made my game improve the most because I tried many different things and then gradually got better. So it's hard to say what was the main thing, I think. But yeah, I mean, part of it is just playing and trying to figure out why you make mistakes and what's the best and. Yeah, just because I've been enthusiastic about the game and trying to get better, and I think that's sort of the mindset makes it easier because if you think it's fun, it's easier to learn. I think.
absolutely?
So,
So when you review your matches, a lot of people look at their errors and their blunders and whatever. Do you also look at the plays you got right?
yeah, I do. I browse the whole match, basically going through,
by
going over
play.
every play. Yeah, and of course I may some matches I analyze more closely than others. But yeah, I look at all the plays.
That's one thing I do as well. A lot of people don't do that. They don't look at the plays they got right. But sometimes when you get a play right, if you got it right by a lot, you should question, why was I thinking this was close? You know, like if you,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
tough play, but you got it right, but it was right by 0.04 or 5 or 8. You know, why was I thinking this was close is another good.
Yeah. Good point. And also just to, I mean, just to get the feedback that my analysis in this position was probably right.
Right.
That's also a valuable data point, not
Sure.
just the ones where it's wrong. So yeah. But I agree. That's a good point.
You win? Oh, Tom Z?
Are they waiting for a monitor or transcriber or something?
Huh? Yeah. Why?
We met Thomas.
Oh, Tenlin.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't recognize you with the beer. I remember when you were at the club. Yeah.
Right.
10 years ago. Okay, we're starting back here.
Yep.
Frank leads 8-4.
And Victor chooses to split with the 2-1. Yeah. Reasonable.
Well, this is the first round that they've increased the to 19 points over 17.
Yeah. So I heard from Phil said before that in the final it will be 21. So
What?
I was joining with the juice mistakes.
What's that?
all right, some early hitting back and forth, and the players shouldn't really alter their opening strategy much at this score. It's kind of similar to 0-0, although of course Victor should be seeking a little more gammonish positions if he can. Okay, bit of an air ball, but it can run a back checker, I guess. One good thing is at least that his blots are 1 pip apart, and so are Frank's back checkers, so duplicate some numbers. Not enough, apparently, because Frank can hit. Another somewhat awkward number. Yeah, okay, that's an interesting play. Slotting the 5. Trying for some early development, but he's outboarded. And Victor really kind of needs to come in now, I guess.
Absolutely.
He doesn't.
That should be a double.
And this,
Is it a double and pass, I think?
I don't know.
It's a take. Okay.
Only 7 guys in the zone after all.
He passed.
But yeah, he quickly passes. Not a position he wanted to see play out. But yeah. Makes a big difference when you add or subtract the checker to the attacking zone in those blitzes. Of course, the score is a factor here as well, although not a super big one. This would probably have been a theoretical pass at 0-0. Okay, so 6-3 can come to the 15-point duplicating 3s and aces. It's not the worst either because at least it duplicates 6s. Yeah.
These are close plays. Yeah.
So he's going to cover his 5-point. That's for sure.
He's going to cover his 5, and he's going to split to the 21, and he's going to figure out the last 2.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay, interesting choice. They're about equally good. And Victor, 4 entry from the bar again, and he's soon in trouble again. I mean, I'm not saying he can't. Okay, he gets doubled, but
Should I pause? I'm hitting my clock, but I'll pause. Okay.
I'm not saying he cannot take this.
This is a pretty clear take.
Yeah,
1 foot.
but yeah, another poor entry from the bar for Victor, and it seems he's at least considering it. But I think he's gonna probably end up Okay, the clock's not running. Okay.
I think Frank forgot to hit his clock when he
Oh,
doubled.
I see. Anyway, it seems like perhaps
This was actually no double.
yeah, that makes sense. But Victor doesn't seem to want to gamble, perhaps in these half gammonish positions where he's an underdog like the last one. But here he took it, and
So
of
where do you
course-
play the 3 here?
yeah, in the back, I
Yeah,
suppose.
that looks right. Yeah.
And yeah, solid advantage for Frank, but even this solid roll probably wouldn't have been a market loser. So that's probably why it's a no double, right?
Right.
Okay, of course it was not a joker by any means, but still.
Should just hit on the 3 here.
Yeah. Wants to stop Victor's checker from escaping, and also he doesn't have
Anchoring.
much else.
Escaping or anchoring.
Escaping or anchoring, true. But he can't stay for long on that anchor if he makes it now. Oh, excellent number. How do you play it? Suppose you have to hit just because of how eager you are to get to the 25 or 21. I mean, normally if the opponent has a checker on the 3-point, making your own 5 is going to be better. But here, it's because you want to come out as well. And also your opponent has an anchor, so making the 5 is not as big as
Right.
usual, right?
Correct.
So yeah, he seems to... Okay, he considers the other one, which he should of course do. But I think seems likely he can find the best play here because it seems to fit the theme of the position here. Not so important to make the 5-point as it is
To
normally.
prevent the attack and fight for an advanced anchor.
Yeah. Or coming out. I mean, just not getting stuck there. And I mean also since he is not likely to prime or blitz Frank, then getting up in the race is the idea. So hitting was important in that sense as well. Okay. I guess, does Frank want to slot the 9 or doesn't he want to get hit? I mean, with Victor's board, slotting had some arguments to it,
Absolutely.
but in these sort of games, they are sort of races. You don't want to get hit. So, okay. Superb roll. Second best roll. And Victor is now close to sending the cube back, I think. Score is important even in these gammonless positions when it's a recube
Good
like
call.
this.
This is actually a small double.
Okay. Yeah. Difficult for him to lose his market by a lot, perhaps, so not a big deal. But after this move, if he doesn't get hit, surely he will double. Because now, if he can roll a set or something, it's going to be a market loser.
Still a small double.
Yeah. I
thought it would have increased a little bit more than it did.
Yeah. But with all those stripped points, hard for him to lose his market by a lot, perhaps.
And now, will he have lost his market or will it still be a take? It's going to be up 13 pips.
Yeah, that's not a lot, of
No,
course.
nope.
But,
He's got
yeah.
4 points in front of him to clear and another 0.7 away.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's still a take.
Yeah, with how close the race is, I guess. Yeah, okay.
Barely.
Yeah, it's basically right on the borderline. So
Perfect borderline.
yeah, so this is this is really where you want to send the cube. You get full value. Of course, your opponent cannot make a mistake, but that's something you're willing
Also,
to live
you're-
with.
Frank has limited recube value because when he
Yeah.
turns it
Yeah.
to 8, Victor's
Yeah.
coming back to 16. So
That's true. He's only going to be able to recube when he's essentially won a race. Excellent cube, this one. Excellent cube.
when Frank gave this initial double, he hesitated as he put the cube out, but he'd already put the cube out. You can see that he was thinking.
Yeah, should I have doubled or
Yeah.
not? Yeah. And now he's perhaps having second thoughts about it again. Yeah. Somehow natural to take this cube. I think even it's a borderline decision.
It's
given-
such a in money. It's such a clear snap of a take. And
Exactly. It's an easy money take, and it's a position with few gammons. So that's probably going to make most players inclined to take this sort of cube, right?
correct. It's only a drop because of the score and the limited recube.
Absolutely.
And even that it's a drop by point. It went by 1 millipoint.
Yeah. So it's pick'em, but he doesn't know that, of course. Yeah.
He would like to phone a friend right now.
Yeah, but it wouldn't help much.
No.
That's
He doesn't know that.
no, exactly. Anyway, this sort of position where he has the 21-point anchor is a bit special in the sense that, I mean, Victor it may have some trouble clearing the 10-point.
Sure.
But on the other hand, the race is close enough that Frank isn't super happy to be primed either, right?
Right.
So it's not trivial who's favored by the contact in this position as it usually is.
Well, the one good thing you can say about Frank is that he's taking a lot of time to decide this. It's a tough decision, as it should be, because it doesn't matter what he does.
Yeah.
Okay, he takes it.
Okay. Should he clear?
I think so.
Yeah, because the other play is ugly, right? So
Yeah.
that made
That-
it less of a decision. But yeah, like we said, it's not.
No, I
super
wouldn't. I
obvious.
would not have done that. Would you? Wouldn't you have gone ahead and made the 2-point? Just
Oh, okay. In case of indirects.
well, I don't know.
think-
Maybe Victor's not giving any.
No,
indirects this time.
exactly. I don't think he will. I don't think there's a single roll where he will leave an indirect here. So, yeah.
He might have considered it was 6-4, but that might be the only roll.
Yeah, I think the argument against leaving the indirects there is also that it's hard to imagine that you can't just leave an indirect next time.
Right. But 6-4 would have burned another checker to the 2 points, so he might
Exactly.
have considered it
Yeah.
while Frank had a blot in his board.
Right. Fair enough. So he seems to have caught up in a race enough now to have shifted to a more advanced anchor. Well played. Because, I mean, some people think that every time you're down in the race, you must have the lowest anchor possible. And that is not the case, because you need to have an anchor as advanced as it suits your racing situation, which is kind of difficult sometimes. It was a nice play there by Frank. Even though he's down in the race, he advanced his anchor.
Again, Frank's limited recube is rearing its head now too, because Frank doesn't just have to get to 80% to win.
Right, he has to get to, yeah, a lot, yeah.
High 90s to win.
Yeah, that's true. It's Okay, Victor shaking a lot, trying to avoid the 6-1.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Close race now, I guess. But Victor's up slightly, it looks
It
like.
looks like an
doesn't it?
even exactly.
It's
isn't it?
exactly even. Yeah, okay, okay, okay.
Wow. These guys are fighting.
Yeah.
Wow. This is how you get to the finals with Undefeated in Monte Carlo.
Right. A huge swing here, obviously, between 9-8 and 13-4. I mean, oh my god. Yeah. I mean, every time Victor's on roll, it's tied, essentially. So Victor is up.
75%. I think Frank would have been happy with his take if he had known he was going to roll double 6 and double 5 and be able to run and double 3 and be able to play all of them.
Yeah. You're right. Oh. Yeah, that doesn't settle it, but yeah.
But it should be after this roll. Nope. Yep. Yeah.
Well,
that's it.
yeah. Yeah.
How do you pronounce his last name? Cool. For the record, in the second chance, Mario Cool beat Dagfinn Snarheim to move to the round of 8 in the second chance.
Okay. That was an excellent matchup as well. Okay, then maybe we have more viewers now. And all of these viewers should, of course, smash the like button. Whether you like the stream or not. Right. Okay, excellent double 3s for Victor. Needs some more improvements to send the cube, but not a lot. And we're also back to normal 0-0 considerations of gammons and recubes and everything. Not recubes exactly, but kind of. All right, 6-4. Yeah, that's one of those improvements. So if Frank can't respond, and he can. All right, not going to be a cube for a while now since he has his 3-point. Hard to lose the market against that. Victor essentially has to run off his anchor and improve his structure a little bit. Then it can be double. Okay.
Back to close to an even game with Victor having some gammon advantage.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, yeah, close game now.
Ouch.
Yeah, not what Frank was hoping for.
Yeah, I think he just comes up to the 20 and goes to the 14.
Yeah, that seems like a wise choice. Doesn't have many other good aces. So... Okay, yeah, he does that. Doesn't want to step up under the gun there, perhaps. But the problem is he stays behind.
In addition,
I'm sorry.
he's also stacking his 6 point and stripping his 8 point.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, while the other one comes to a dangerous spot, at least it tries to escape a little bit. So
Yeah,
but
it forces contact, which you may hit back as well.
right. Okay. Victor likes the hit. Problem is the 5, but yeah. Oh, what an excellent roll. Hits and covers. Frank probably needs to establish some more structure before he can consider doubling. And to get rid of his 14 points. But his main priority now is playing safely.
Yes.
He has finally escaped his checkers, doesn't want to get one of them sent back again. So okay, interesting. Do you prioritize making your board immediately or arranging the back checkers as you want them?
I would make the board.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a play also, making the 21. Problem is it lets Frank dump checkers behind you. Cover more ground if you stay back on the 24. And yeah, the 5 is important if you get immediate contact, but that seems unlikely
The plays
now.
were almost identical according to XG point. 8 millipoints difference between them.
All 3 of them?
No, just the top 2.
Okay.
Now what? That looks right.
Yeah. Interesting. He doesn't want to create a point that just becomes hard to clear. Create some sort of extra spares.
And gives you more chances to make the 5 point as well.
Yeah, because you would have had to give up the 11 if you were to use that. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, doesn't have a good 6 except something like this, yeah. Yeah, he has to come off the 21. Question is the 3. Apparently. Oh, the race is pretty close.
Very close.
Yeah. That I didn't see that. That makes a huge difference to
Frank
a couple of these plays.
Has basically a 2 pip lead because he's ahead 6 with Victor on 6.
Exactly. So it's very close to an even race, you have to say. And that's of course why it makes more sense for Victor to disengage from the 21 there. Really didn't want to get the tact on 21. So this is really close to a race, because when you have the 9 point against the 18 point, it's actually very easy to clear. Of course, he won't have to think about that.
Victor just took a 7 pip lead in the race.
Yeah. So he's the one breaking contact. As he should, probably just checking the race. And yeah, let's see who gets to some 9% of a racing lead first. Then the cube is going to be coming more or less. Not a lot of adjustments to be made as far as doubling points and take points right now.
No, the race just went back to even.
Yeah. It's actually stayed even for quite a while without... Okay.
So
if
Frank has a 12 pip lead.
Yeah.
Victor rolls very small. 2-1, Frank would be up 9 pips. We could see a double if Victor rolls a 2-1. Otherwise, I don't think we'll see a double.
Right. The race is relatively long, so yeah, you can take with a pretty big deficit in terms of number of pips. So yeah, let's see rolls small. Okay, it's not going to be enough
No.
to double, but it's close. I mean, it's just needs to gain a few more pips in the race, and he can send it. But Victor probably wasting somewhat more with his made deuce point. Not a super big deal, but has some sort of impact.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, it is.
Frank has a 1 pip lead now. 1 pip lead is a lot, though, when you're on shake.
Yeah, so it's effectively like 5
5
pips, you
pips.
could say. And that is, of course, because one roll
Wow.
is 8 pips.
It's a double 5.
Yeah. Now Victor's ahead. So one roll is around 8 pips on average, right? So when you're down 4 pips but you're on roll, the other guy would be down 4 pips but be on roll if you roll average. So then it's even.
Correct. So Frank probably needs to roll a 7 or higher here. Yeah.
He does.
Staves off the cube a little bit. Again, Frank probably needs a 7 or higher. Wow.
That's higher than a 7.
A little bit.
Yeah. And
Victor
we'll
now,
see if Victor can
now
respond.
needs to
Otherwise, the
perform.
cube is coming the other way. Yeah, that's
No.
going to be a double.
Yep. That's going to be...
Yeah, and it's also going to be a monster pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, long race, but the double 6 has settled it. Okay. So I noticed Victor doesn't like to slot with a 4-1 or 5-1. I mean, I'm not saying he should. I'm just noticed. He likes to split with those.
And when you're behind, do you slot with 4-1?
Sometimes, yeah.
I don't-
Not
I-
necessarily.
I almost never slot with 5-1.
No,
Do
okay,
you?
yeah. 5-1 is probably also the worst one to slot with out of the aces. I don't usually slot with 5-1, no. I like to do it more with 4-1 because it's more thematic to me. Because when you have a tidy front position as you have after a 5, then it makes more sense to split your back checkers than when you have a blot in the outfield. Anyway, they're all close.
Frank made a good play there.
He did. Thematically pointed on head on the ace point with the double 5s, as is so often correct in the opening.
Usually when you, yeah, so often with a double 5 like that, it's correct. Especially, excuse me, especially in situations where you put your opponent on the bar and you don't have any other good option.
Right. The
Ooh.
disadvantage is obviously if
Right.
it becomes a long game,
and
then
it's-
you have the ace point out of play,
And it's a big
basically.
disadvantage when your opponent owns a 23-point anchor and you have the golf in there.
Right.
So what's going on here? No double.
No,
Frank's up 17 pips. And Victor rolls a good number. It's a good chance he'll have a double on this shake.
Of this match drop down to the round of 8 in the second chance.
The loser of this match drops to the round of 8 in the second chance. So the winner is in the world final, the world championship final, And the loser would have to win 3 more matches to get there. So, yeah, Frank only came in with 1 man, which gave Victor a solid double and a pass. If Frank entered with 2 men, he could have taken. But 1 man and being under the gun was not enough with his weakened position on his side. Well, it's a great shot from Frank. Victor will need to respond. Victor needs a 4 from the bar or some small doubles.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he's getting doubled otherwise.
No,
but, I mean,
but
it would be a good number, of
to
course.
equalize the position.
And he can hit.
Yeah. Looks clear. Just hit on the 7.
Yeah. There's not much else to do, I suppose.
Most 5s and 6s hit from the bar. Oh, there's a dance, and this what is this now? This is
the fact
9
that
men in the zone bar.
he has escaped the back checker.
Right.
That's huge. I mean, if he had both guys back on his 24 point, it would be nowhere near a double. But the fact that he's also threatening to escape his last back checker is huge. It's going to be
Good
an
double. That's a
easy
very
take
good double.
for Victor, but good, nice double, yeah. He could hit 2 or make the structure,
Yeah,
but
just play for structure.
this looks very natural.
I would have done this also. How far off was hitting 2?
I don't think it was a blunder, but it was a sizable mistake.
Okay.
It's of course inconvenient here to step up to the confined 23 points, right? But that's
So now Frank has got more men in the zone, and here I would press the attack. Yeah.
Yep. Again, because you don't have much else. Yeah, Victor in some trouble. Okay, an important hit at least.
Yeah.
Frank losing some of his momentum there, but
Victor still has 2 men on the bar.
yeah, right. 2 men on the roof still, and equal structures apart from that. Okay,
He's got his
mediocre.
anchor, but nothing special. Entering with 2 would have been the preferred.
Yeah,
So Victor would love to roll an anchor here, either the 22 or the 20.
yep. Or just enter at least and be able to stop Frank's last straggler from escaping.
There's the
Okay, that's
22
a nice
point
one.
anchor.
That's a nice one for Victor. Okay, good running number. Don't see that there's much else.
Right.
Frank really wants to escape that guy. And yeah,
He's up 31 pips. If he doesn't get hit.
okay, 6-2. Yeah, does he want to jump out or can he settle for slotting his own 5 point? Not an easy choice. Looks big. Jumping out looks big. But on the other hand, he wants to get those 3 guys moving at some point. So, and slotting the 5 obviously leaves shots and can get another 4th guy back there. So that was a difficult choice.
That's too low.
That's a great shot.
Yep. He really wants to escape his back guy, but pointing on the deuce point.
He's got to be correct.
Right,
by
but
a lot.
I think that's just why he stops to hesitate a little, because it's nice to come out with that guy, but I mean, yeah. The other option was just too big. Or was there no guy on the bar? Or are they stacked on the bar? It's only
No,
one guy
there's
on the
one
board.
guy on the board.
Oh, okay, okay.
was- that
Yeah,
was-
then it was very obvious to hit. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, it would be a redouble if he shipped it now, but 3 guys behind the broken 4 prime is just too much, yeah. But if he escapes one of them, or, yeah, okay, it does like this. Yeah, now Frank must deliver, otherwise it's coming now.
I think he's got to enter and hit, or what about a 3-6? Would 3-6 be enough? Enter and hit.
Yeah, that's we don't get the answer there. He cannot double from that one, obviously. It's a close game now. What a roll. What a roll. Oh, that's an excellent roll as well. Yeah, if he can't deliver now, okay, that's
also
kind of a
very
delivery.
Nice roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think this is a redouble. What do you think?
Well, I basically saw XG's equity numbers, so based on those, it shouldn't be one. But I mean, it's definitely worth considering. I mean,
It's only 4 millipoints.
yeah, okay,
41
yeah.
millipoints.
It's very difficult to be that precise, I believe. And the fact that he's down 9-10, even though it's only 1 point, is actually significant.
So here's the hit.
Yeah.
So Frank enters or gets redoubled, I presume.
Yeah. Comes out
Yeah,
in the
nothing
process. Wow.
What a swing.
Yeah. Okay. 5-4.
14 and 9. 14
Yeah.
and 8, I mean.
Yeah, he plays it safely. Can't leave any shots.
Sure.
Okay. How much is he down by? I mean, is there any merit to
No.
coming in
I
on
don't know.
24? Probably not. The race is the 14 pips after or before the move?
It's only 8 pips.
Yeah, so it's 8 pips. So he really wants to come out with that guy as soon as possible. So yeah, it better be on the 20 point, especially when Frank can so easily play safely in the short term. I mean, it would have been different if he had some numbers that he could hope for there.
Good play by Victor.
Yeah, yeah. Again, don't leave a shot.
Yeah, but I would go to the 12 point.
Yeah, seems natural. I guess it blocks less ground, but it's easier to play safely for him in the future.
His next problem is going to be clearing the 11 point, and bringing those guys there make it easier for him to not leave a shot as he attempts to clear the 11 point. Here he, it's harder to clear.
Yeah, he has 2 points now that are more difficult to clear. I understand also that you want to cover if perhaps Victor rolls some number that ends up in between those points, but yeah. Yeah, does Victor want to leave a shot? Probably worth it with the blot, perhaps, and his strong board, but it's not obvious. In these close races, you really want to... Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is why it's fine to run, because it's not a super big deal that he gets hit.
Right. Even a hit and cover, Frank is considering disdaining the hit.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if he knows how close the race is. Sometimes over the board you don't necessarily know what the race is, and given that Victor's the player with the anchor, maybe he assumes he is up by more than he is. That's possible. In any case, it wasn't trivial either ways, but still. Okay.
Well, he has a different game plan.
Yeah. That basically. Yeah, and now it's essentially it's a pure race. There's absolutely no contact left. Or, well. You can see that Victor even considers coming out with the
Right.
guys on the anchor despite being down by 11 pips. It's just because it's better for the race and he can't expect any value from that contact anyway. So,
Yeah, that play is only without plus plus. It's only 8 millipoints weaker.
yeah. And it makes sense because
Sure,
there's so little upside to it. But again,
he
Victor,
did gain on this where Frank can't fill in his 5 point now.
that's true. That's true. But on the other hand, he can lose in variations where he catches up in the race and gets attacked. But yeah,
Absolutely.
but it's not an easy choice. But it makes a lot of sense to stay back when down by 11 pips after all. So good play. Okay, he saves. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He gained a pip there, so we're probably going to have a transcription break soon.
Yeah, there it is. Right.
Yeah. They paused it already.
He's changing.
6-4.
The roll was 4-1, right?
Yeah. The roll was 4-1.
They changed it to
Or
a 5-1.
at least as far as we could see. I mean, sometimes the 4s and 5s are not that easy to see. But
Oh, maybe he.
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know either. Not a big deal, but I think it was a good play by Victor not to save the guy on the 7. I mean, he wanted perhaps to save a 6, not to break the anchor, but breaking the anchor is not a big deal since he's still in the race, and shipping a guy to the ace would have been costly for the race. So seemed like a wise choice. Oh, he gets a shot. Yeah. It's interesting that XG actually likes to hit even though it doesn't minimize shots just because the race isn't completely settled, I guess. He takes away the double 6s and double 5s, or well, the double 5s is...
It actually had 8-7, 8-2 on top, but I'm not sure if that was plus plus.
Okay. But it said they were close.
They were
at
very
least.
close,
I mean, 2 extra shots is a lot, but... Oh, and if Victor had the checker on this
5 point, he would cover.
Exactly. So now it must be a matter of primarily ensuring that he can cash next time. But okay, he also wants to pick up that checker and play on too good if Frank fans. So I don't know. He probably can never cash if Frank comes in, can he?
No.
So maybe yeah. This probably minimizes the downside of an entry. And now will he just cash it or play on?
I think he'll cash it.
Yeah, it's pretty greedy to play on with so few gammons in play,
And
despite the mediocre board.
And not enough covers.
Exactly. It's not. But then, what argues for playing on is, of course, that even if he fails to
Oh, look,
cover,
it was almost a play on.
Yeah,
Maybe plus
yeah.
plus it'll get there. No,
Yeah.
it's just a little bit shy of a play on, which we would have thought.
Yeah, it's because it's quite a parlay for it to for him to get punished there for playing on.
it's also somewhat of a parlay for him to get a gammon. He has to,
Right.
he has to cover, and then he has to get the gammon after covering.
Yeah, yeah.
John O'Hagan, huh? Good job. Do you play some with Peter Just Thompson also?
Well, he plays in the Danish team tournament, but I haven't played against him, no. But I know he is perhaps the best player in the whole tournament, yeah. He's a really, really excellent player.
So the PRs have come, Frank has really come down. He's like at 448 now. He was up in the sixes.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, he's a great player. He made some mistakes there at some point, so it jumped up. But yeah, it was gonna come down. So yeah, not that much going on really. 20-point versus the 11-point again. Yet another game. And yeah, 6-1. Does it make the point or does it run? Because the 7-point is not particularly valuable.
Yeah, but
valuable
it's 4
here.
points in front of the 20-point anchor.
It is, but escaping that last checker is valuable too. But it wasn't too.
It wasn't too threatening because of the blot on the 24.
Exactly. So there were many things at play. Oh, he gets to come out. Good roll. And now
I guess
we're again in essentially a race.
I think he's up 21 pips if I've got it. That's right, I believe. Yep.
Yeah, and should Frank stay back there or not? Well, apparently, according to XG, not.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a trivial decision here, down 14 pips, because not that many numbers are super costly, and perhaps it can
Victor's
force
going to have
Victor
Victor's
to
going to
make.
have a double here, no matter how he plays it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, he has little favorable contact left, and he's down by 14 pips. So yeah, fair enough. But it's still a very interesting play, in my opinion. Here, do you stay back? Do you have enough to gain on staying back there? Or not?
No, I would not stay back.
No,
This is probably a double and a small take, probably 0.9 or so, or something like that. 0.88, 0.9. No, he's not doubling.
okay. I don't know if you didn't know what the race was there, because it seemed a very easy double
He lost
to
his
find
market.
if you knew the race.
Yeah, he lost his market unless Frank rolls probably 11 pips or more.
Maybe he had the race wrong somehow.
Actually, Frank probably needed to roll 12 or more last time. Yeah. Yeah, big market loss there. He missed the double. Pretty easy position to count. Using the transposition method, Frank should get this right pretty quickly.
Yeah, okay. Is he using that or?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
But if you use that, this is super simple.
Right. And I guess also just visually looking at the different sides, it looks like he's down by lots. But of course, he is very right to
Using the
check.
transposition method, you only have to move 4 pips, 4 checkers.
Yeah, to get okay, I see. Anyway, he is, of course, if he's even slightly unsure, he is very right to count it and double check, of course. Very important to get these races right and know that you're down by 19 and not 9, as your count perhaps said. Yeah.
Anybody unfamiliar with what the transposition method is? Well, I guess setting up the board, so it's too late. But basically, Frank was ahead 2 pips by having 3 men on the 8 point, so he moves 2 pips back to the 10 point. The 2 men on the 11 point were 16 pips behind the point in Victor's board, and then Frank had to move a man from the 6 to the 1.
Right, so you're basically comparing the positions of the
Correct.
two players, right?
Yeah, when you get that method down, a lot of positions lend themselves to a very quick count. The one drawback in that method is you often will have to then count the total race to see what your cube action is, but not that often. Usually it's either clearly not a double or is a double, or sometimes it's on the border and you have to get the exact count. Do you use that method, or do you count the total pips?
Usually I use one of the colorless
Oh, right.
counting
Oh,
methods.
excellent.
But in these sort of positions that are pure races, I sometimes just count the pips because I find it relatively fast often. But usually the colorless one. Okay, so it's pretty interesting here that neither of them is splitting because the other guy is bringing in checkers into the zone, so splitting becomes dangerous, and it's the same for both of them, so you should just keep bringing checkers into the zone. And here's another one.
And that's a correct play, a nice play by
definitely.
Frank.
Yeah, definitely.
Too dangerous to split there.
Yep. And 4-1 is another one.
And here we come,
Yeah.
the same play.
Yeah. Of course, something like a 6-5 for Frank would be very welcome because he's the one that will have problems developing his position if he can't get away from back there. So Victor with by far the most constructive position.
So this is a
It's even
tiny
a small
double.
Okay. Tough find, I think.
Yeah, it's very
Especially
tough
leading
line.
12-10.
And as well as Victor plays.
Okay, this is the market right there, of course.
As well as Victor plays. These positions that are very, very small doubles, you're not going to play as well as XG. When you miss these 0.01 or 0.0, these 10 or 20 millipoint doubles, a lot of times it's probably practice, not even wrong.
Oh, yeah. Especially if it's easy for your opponent to play.
Right.
Yeah. In this case, it seems he has gone to too good, which is understandable since he had a double before and rolled a huge joker.
Yes, which is what we were discussing before. And he is taking his time.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Which is normal because he understands that Frank is rarely going to have more than an ace point game, which he can't take. So, but okay, he cashes it. Fair enough. Not that many gammons to be won after all. Okay, Victor plays the least contact seeking of the 6-4 openings. Since he's ahead in the match, he wants to play simple games.
Do you do the same?
It depends a little bit who I'm playing. I would say if I feel like I have a very big edge, maybe I play some of the other plays because I know it's relatively close and it may sometimes be to my advantage. But yeah, otherwise I think I would have played the same. Yeah, per default. What would you do?
Kind of the same philosophy as you.
Yeah.
If it's a player I feel I have a checkered, if I'm a stronger player, I will often not make that. I'll often make the other play.
Yeah. The good thing about making this sort of running play is also that, I mean, it's one thing that it doesn't lose perhaps many games or win many games, etc. But one thing is also that it makes your game plan easy. You know that you want to play with few gammons, and you make a play that makes it easy for you to understand what you need to do next. Whereas
That's a very good point.
like sometimes if you make a play that makes the position pretty gammonish, you will keep facing decisions of whether you should make a gammonish but more winning play and etc. throughout the game. So yeah, he needs to unstack that ugly stack. Think he'll find this. Oh, okay. He didn't want to get hit. He didn't want to get hit. Also understandable, especially since Frank has a spare on his 18 points, so he wouldn't have had to give it up. Huge roll. Even though it's ugly, that's actually probably a great roll, because this is pretty close to being a race already. And all those pips, that's awesome.
Yeah, Frank's actually 67.5% here. A lot of people might think White is the underdog here, but heavens no. And he has many rolls to roll a double that would basically win the game.
Yeah.
And even if he's forced off that point, unless Victor has a very strong board.
The 6, and the 6-3 there is nice for him as well, so he doesn't have to crunch more before being able to play safely. Yeah. Yeah, Victor wants to build his board here, should a shot come anytime soon. Not too many rolls away if Frank's unlucky.
With each roll that Frank doesn't roll a double, his advantage decreases. It was originally around 70%. Now he's down to 58.
Yeah, so it makes sense. I mean, much of his advantage is that he has many chances in a row to roll doubles. And if he fails some of those chances, his chances decrease. Yeah, makes sense. And now it would be it would really hurt him to get hits. Yeah, Victor can't clear his midpoint because he's down in the race. I mean, usually in these situations, that is what you do, of course, but yeah, usually you're up in the race after rolling double fours in this sort of position. He's not, and he knows
so we're at about a 50-50 game now.
Yeah. Frank desperate to roll doubles. Yeah, the question is, do you save a 6? I think you do.
Yes, absolutely.
I mean, usually in these sort of situations, it is nice to save 1 6. I mean, if you can have one guy outside of your inner board and save the 6, it's usually right. But to save the second one is usually wrong, in my experience.
I agree. It's also surprising how often XG will not save a 6
Right.
when it seems like you would want to save a 6.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah. So you give up a little bit in the race, and sometimes running off the anchor isn't all that bad because
Right.
you sort of have to do it. So yeah.
Blake, if he rolls a 5-1, he'll come up with our position.
4-1. Okay.
In this position, Blake and our opponent only had a 4-point board, but we rolled a 5-1 and got doubled.
Right. Here's the 5-2. Is that enough to get doubled? A lot of volatility.
So this is 21 shots, and the other was 24. But this is 2 blots, and the other was 1.
Yeah, and also after this one, probably easier to safety your guys should you get missed. But you can get G'd. So yeah. Yep,
Well,
Victor
Frank,
shipped
this
it.
is similar to our position. We got doubled here in our doubles match, trailing 5 away, 4 away, and we snapped it up and got gammon.
Yeah, this one, I mean, Frank's counting the raise, making sure he's up by a lot. After he's done that, he's going to take this, I believe.
Guarantee he will take this.
Yeah, but he's making some sort of judgment of the race, I think.
It's a lot of pressure. You're playing in the finals of the
you want to make
winner's
sure.
bracket.
You want to make sure, and that's...
But I'm sure he'll take it.
Yeah. It's also actually that when he gets hit, he hasn't lost.
That's true.
He
With
sort
the
of has
4-point
lost,
board.
but yeah.
I've lost many a game like this where I hit a checker and my opponent rolled an ace and I danced and they rolled a 6.
I don't believe you, Joe. You cannot lose in that situation. No, but yeah, you're right. I mean, it adds some to it. I wonder what would be the equities if the ace point were made and the race and everything else were about the same. If such a position could be constructed, would make actually a huge difference.
Oh, sure.
Because the gammons would go up as well. Anyway, it
They
would...
passed.
Okay, yeah.
That's going to destroy his PR.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Oh, I would have bet big that he was going to take that. He's going to take a break now.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I think he must have misjudged the race somehow because because given the race and given the number of hitting numbers, it should not be so difficult to take it. But I think he's somehow maybe misjudged his wastage there or something. I don't know.
If Victor rolled like a 3-2, it would have been an immediate redouble.
Yeah. Okay.
Victor's low 4s and Frank probably just shot up to 5.5 or something like that.
That was a big take.
It was a massive take.
It was a
Blake
big
and I had a
take.
position like that in our match. Our position was worse. I rolled a 5-1, and we left 24 numbers. Our opponent had the best 4-point board. We were up 40 pips, and they doubled us. And Blake didn't want to take it, but I talked him into it. But we had to bet on the position. He would only take it if I bet on the position, so I did. And it was a pretty clear take.
We got gammon.
We did get gammon.
I was right.
They rolled double aces.
Double aces would have gammoned them too.
Well, we'd have had a chance at a gammon. But our opponent only had a 4-point board. We did roll double aces too, but they still gammoned us.
Take some more water. You want some?
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
We'll get right into the restroom. You want to say a few words while we're going?
Commentators here, so I'd like to express our appreciation to them this afternoon at the 2 p.m. match. Mark Dixon sat in for Phil and commented with Justin Knoll, and that worked out great. And here tonight, Joe Russell has stepped in for Phil. Thomas Tinlin was working with Phil and has done a great job. And Joe, of course, is a world champion and a finalist a second time. So a great pairing of commentators. And as y'all know, I mean, these 19-point match here is an ordeal, not only for the players, but for the commentators. And wow. Yeah, Hassan, Dubai in September. Tara and I will be doing the streaming and commentary, doing some of the commentary, organizing the commentary. Okay. So anyway, the so great match. Let me see. I can tell everyone. Well, y'all have access to the brackets at bwcmc.com or wherever. But look here. Mario Cool won. Ricardo Malas won. Vincent, I guess, won. The lady from Norway, Marta Jelseth, won. Morton Holm won. Nakasura won. Rogers won. And the loser of this will take the 8th spot in the round of 8 in the playoff. Probably tomorrow at 2 p.m. I haven't consulted yet with Arda and them, but my thought is that we will probably show the Vincent Jelseth match, since neither of them have been streamed, and Jelseth will be really about the only woman would have a chance to stream, and so I think they both deserve some airtime and people to see them. And then probably the home Nakasura match. The Cool and Malas match, we just streamed Mario Cool, and then also the Chris Rogers had beaten Bilali, so whoever loses this match will take over, play Rogers, but all of these people have been streamed. So Thomas is back. The match is back on. I'll sit here for half a second until Joe gets back. I feel like y'all have had quite a entertaining match so far.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a close one. So Victor has looked hard to beat this whole week.
Well, you know, he's played well, but he's also seemed to be kind of a, I don't know, karma or fate or destiny or something. He's won 4 matches where he was dead meat.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just, and you know, sometimes you get on that type of streak, you know, and certainly a player of Victor's caliber, you throw in some good fortune, and it's very difficult to overcome that for the others.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Joe's coming back. Thank you both so much for what you're doing here with the commentary, and have a good rest of the match.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was an interesting decision where Victor refrained from hitting to keep his anchor, which was right, but he got blitzed anyway. But now he hit back, so that's where we're at.
Okay.
And making the 9 point is pretty nice here because, for example, the 3 point is open. So
Making the 9 is clear. The tougher play is whether to play 21 or 6. And I guess by playing,
but I think he already entered from the bar with one guy.
yeah, but he still has 2 more left, right?
Okay. Yep. Right, he makes the 11. 11 also very strong with the open 5 point. But has to give up the mid. So
He's up 23 pips. This looks like a double. It's a small no double, but it's a practice, probably
Okay.
a good double. A bigger no double, 54 millipoints.
yeah, seems like a match score thing. At 0-0,
Yeah,
I don't think that's much.
Yeah.
Mm,
No, actually, it would be a stronger double here. He's trailing 14-10.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay,
So I mean, at 0-0, it would not.
No, not be- even
his
be-
advantage isn't that big.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be a clear no double at that score.
I mean, after all, Victor has an anchor. Frank still has two guys back there, and he's not in that much danger. So, famous last words, but still.
Nice duplication of twos.
Okay, does he hit this time? Yeah.
No.
No, he doesn't. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can see the answer, but it's not a trivial decision
No.
versus a 4-point board when you have an inner board blocked and you're up 14-10 with a 2 cube in play. I mean, yeah. So he refrained from hitting once in this game where it was right, but this time it wasn't. yeah. So yeah, right, because it's because it was,
they're going to have to catch up.
because his hitting would have moved Victor's checker the exact same way, just not picking up. Yeah.
I think this was the right play by Frank. It could have also been reasonable to play the man in 9-5 and play 14-11, giving you some attack on the 4 point if you need it.
But it makes a lot of sense up in the race to get away from
Sure,
this
absolutely.
hemmed-in point
I agree.
with a huge board advantage. It seemed like a very good play, I think.
I think
But,
it's right too. I think the other play had merit, but this is number one.
Yeah,
I guess we'll find out.
I think it's because, I mean,
Can I make fun of Thomas' commentary? I mean, I don't think I'll have an opportunity to.
Make sure to say who you are.
Hi, I'm Steve Sachs. 10th place last year, Monte Carlo. This year, just came to show up. My good friends Thomas Tenelin and Joe Russell. How y'all doing tonight?
okay. But, yeah.
What
okay.
a shot.
Yeah.
What a shot.
It does everything.
Average plus.
Now, okay, so basically an even game now.
$394 to $495. Respectable numbers for this pressure match.
Yeah. Yeah. It's understandable move by Victor in the sense that he really doesn't want to get hit. But,
It's a great shot by
Superstar
Frank.
shake.
yep, that's a strong one.
Are you going to risk making the 10-point, leaving a deuce shot here with a race lead and having given up the cube, or you just go all to the 6? Well, I see I see the answer.
Yeah, but like you said, he's already sent the cube. Otherwise, it would have made a lot of sense to play safely, right? And get the cube in later. But then again, in holding games, playing safely often makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So,
One of my character flaws, I take too many chances. I think Frank will find the right play.
yeah. I guess the disadvantage of making the 10 is that, yeah, when it works, it's better, but it's not, you're not home free by any means.
Well, look at him.
Yeah.
It may work. He's a favorite to work.
Yeah. It's a nice play. It's a nice play anyway.
Now, what do you make, the 11 or the 7? What do you think, Joe?
You can also, yeah, okay. You can also push a checker. Yeah, you can do something like that.
I'm not a fan of that. I wouldn't. Well, it's not too bad.
Oh, it's actually really good.
How
but yeah,
about that?
that's
Good
actually,
find,
yeah,
Victor.
I agree. It's a very good
Good
find.
find and quick
It's
find.
a very ugly find, but it's a good find.
Yeah.
Okay, shifts the checker to get the cover from.
Wow, these guys
No,
are
it
fantastic.
doesn't.
These guys are terrific.
Oh, it does. You're right.
Yeah.
6-3 superstar
6-2,
shake by a superstar
yeah.
player.
Yeah, that's a good one. Okay, awkward 4.
It really is. I think you just got to duplicate 3. Oh no, you can come out. I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's
Very good, very
what he
good
has
play.
to do.
That's why I'm out of the tournament. I missed these obvious moves.
Yeah, yeah. 6-5, another good roll.
So Joe, when do you start to think about redoubling here? I mean, there's not that much gammon, but a gammon gets him to Crawford.
But you're up 14-10.
Yeah, but so if you make the 3
You got to be
point,
very careful with the redouble.
yeah, it's probably a pretty thin margin between like a really weak play on and just oh, he's not going to hit.
No,
So I mean, yeah, I think he's gonna hit
yeah.
when he realizes he's not up in the race. He is counting it, perhaps. I think he's counting the race. Yeah.
8 numbers for Frankie. Ooh, not bad for a miss.
Well, he's got to come out.
I agree.
Yeah. Pretty important roll, this one.
17 numbers to hit.
Victor has it.
Double 6 is pretty good. Half his numbers are pretty good. Victor Ashkenazi rolled a 4-3.
Probably-
And safety's one of them.
Probably safety's the man on the 8 point.
It's the same number of shots, right? So you want to make sure your 4s and
It's a
3s
7
play
to
well.
4.
I think if you go 8-5 and your 4-3, which is blocked, now makes the 3 points. So I like your play, Joe. You
No,
want to make your bad numbers play well.
staying 7 to 4 is better, but this isn't plus yet.
Well, they didn't plus they
Okay.
didn't plus the second one.
It's
The second one's your play was probably better, Joe. 6-4.
Okay, now what? No redouble.
nothing,
Yes,
nothing.
Nothing but lots.
It's just fine to
Even though he's up 18 pips.
you just try and
But it's
It's a score thing.
and you have an anti-joker, double 4s, and just try and get lucky, win a gammon.
He's 70% to win and 19% gammon.
Superstar shake.
right. But anytime the reason your position is so strong is largely that you're winning some gammons, then
Yeah.
he's not going to send it.
And it's not
because there are-
it's still not a recube.
No, but I mean, it feels like whenever it becomes good enough, it's
You're
going
right.
to become too
You
good.
just cross over
Yeah.
because it's a very thin margin there. He won't double.
Also, it's obviously because if Victor sends the cube to 4, then if he wins a gammon, it matters little because it's going to be 18-10 anyway. Then so
And the gammon's
So-
what, like 20% or something?
Look,
Yeah,
even here
26%.
it's no redouble.
yeah,
Yeah, I figured as much. If he releases a checker, then we can start to think about it.
yeah, but then it's going to be too
Yeah, then
good.
it crosses over. Yeah, it's a really interesting
Yeah,
conundrum.
yeah. Because if he fans now, how can this go wrong for Victor? Then he has to roll.
Yeah, I mean even
Yeah.
now even the double 4 still plays.
Yeah, and as we can see,
There
it
we
is
go.
too good
Crossed
now.
over to the happy
Yeah.
land. Playing
So-
on, trying to get to Crawford to gain a spot in the finals of the World Championship. Victor Ashkenazi has wanted this for a really, really long time.
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't exactly? Hey,
Um,
I got 10th place last year. I was like, felt like going out to pawn shop and buying gold medal. I think Victor's only flaw is that he shakes the dice a little bit too much and gets in time trouble. That's a pretty good flaw to have. Wow, great shot for Victor. He's in a pure play on with very little risk. Okay, 2-5. Yeah, good
Yeah,
instincts for Frank. And now,
Comes out to dodge the.
and no bad numbers whatsoever for Victor. Ace deuce followed by deuce 5 is it, but that's so minor. Oh, interesting. Yeah, you have a free shake because there are no bad numbers. You can always double later. So if he rolled like 5-2, would he cube then, or just still play on?
5-2.
Any number that just takes a checker off.
No, I don't think so.
What do you roll?
This is a bad.
Okay, so
roll.
now, yeah, that's
This is like one of the very worst.
So does he still play on?
Yeah, now he doesn't play.
Yeah,
on.
but then
now he doesn't play.
yeah, well, it looks like it's still a take though. It's minus 905.
That's a tough find, I'd say.
Wow.
That's a tough find, this take.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's a grotesque situation for Mr. Frigo.
if it is one.
Look at this, and a no redouble is still a no redouble.
Yeah. Because it is a take and you win many gammons. But it is a take, that's something we know. I bet it's going to be passed if he sends it. But let's see.
Frank's tenacious. I mean, he's a really, really good player, but everybody's capable of making a mistake.
Sure. I'm just saying this is a
Yeah, yeah.
position where very many would have made a mistake.
Yeah, I bet you 190 people in this tournament.
There it goes. All right, let's find out if Mr.
140
Frigo's got the
passes.
fortitude.
Yeah, and he passed immediately.
Oh, snap pass,
But
snap pass.
Yeah, but it's very, very difficult
I know.
over the board to know that is
Out of
the take.
190 people
You
in this
bet-
tournament, how many do you think would pass that cube?
Yeah, the vast majority.
And it's funny, the few people,
Easily.
but Joe,
70?
Yeah.
Joe, the funny thing is the few people who might pass this might say, I got enough edge over the next player that I'm just going to, yeah. What a tough tournament
Actually,
this is.
there's two extremes that might take this.
Right.
The
really good one,
the bottom 10 players?
The sub 3 PRs and the 15-0 and up PRs.
Yeah, so the bottom 10 players and the top 10 players.
Yeah. So Frank close to a cube already now. If Victor
Oh my
can't
goodness.
deliver, it's
Yeah.
going to be cube. But he
Okay,
can't
that's a
deliver.
fantastic shot
Yeah.
for Victor.
That is a delivery.
What is 3 away, 9 away? I'm really bad on my match equities. Like 82% or something? I don't even know.
I don't know, but it's you can send the cube very early, that's for sure.
But in a non-gammonish position, he's going to hold off for a while.
Right.
You know, 6 away, 9 away? I mean,
Can
3 away?
calculate it based on Neil's numbers, but
Okay.
well, anyway, like you said, he has to wait longer in these non-gammonish positions, but
Yeah.
still not at all as long as at 0-0, for example.
Right.
I mean, he can cube earlier in those as well.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's so hard for Victor to find a reasonable recube.
I actually had an interesting position against Peter Thompson, where he redoubled me from 6 away, 3 away. He was 3 away, I was 6 away. So I pass him at 11%. And surprisingly, I found that it was 13%, and I took it and got a deuce shot, missed it. Peter moves on. Okay.
And how did you find that position was 13%?
It was one of the 200,000 reference positions that I assembled in my brain while I was sleeping.
Come on, get a double.
Lucky guess, Joe. That's all I said.
Well, I guess it was. When you showed it to me, I guess it was.
Yeah,
a take also,
you and I
so.
were the, and some other.
But you said
on-
you figured it was 13%. You just figured it was more than 11%. That's what
So you
think.
get the diamond star. I only get the gold star. Good for you, Joe. And some other unnamed super giants got it wrong. We won't say who. Okay.
All right, reasonable to run there, given the blots, I guess.
Victor's
but,
going to be not super. Well, were you supposed to?
Yeah, the argument against it was that he is not up in the race.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
and of course that there's some danger, but
All right, Victor. I'll play you $5 to play 6 to 5. You didn't do it. You didn't gain that $5 free roll. Oh, look at this shake. Well,
it's
hit and
encumbered.
cover.
Hit and cover.
And
He
where's
missed
the
one of
cube?
these. He missed one of these earlier.
The
What he
cube's in
did,
the
but this
middle.
one's automatic.
Yeah, this is like just prepared to double.
Yeah.
So
If Victor comes in and cleans up, I guess he can dodge it, but he needs that.
yeah, if he fans, it's all lights out, and if he comes in like with a 2, well, maybe 1,
A lot of numbers to clean up.
That's going to be
double
enough.
2. Okay, so enter that, and I'm happy to play 8 to 6. I don't want to get hit. What's the race here? 14? Oh no, 20? 20?
Not an easy move, the last deuce, I believe. You want to play both of them.
Yeah, I'm not that worried about getting attacked if I was Victor. So, ace
But
deuce.
it's not just about getting attacked. You want to come out with the guy and, not collapse your forward position, as I see it.
Right.
Um,
It's pretty good non-escaping number, Frank. Gets the builders lined up. It's a Victor with 2s and 4s and 6s and 5s working.
5 is good, comes out.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, he plays that.
really? Interesting. What was that? The deal on that one?
I wonder if he saw the other move.
Because the deuces
Interesting.
are not going to be that easy to hit, and the 6s are duplicated.
I think Frank just makes the 2-point. Should just make the 2-point here.
I'm happy with that. You get a stronger board, making it more
Okay,
uncomfortable.
but he can also play 13-6, yeah?
But he wants to make it more uncomfortable for Victor to try and contain the back checker. So making that extra.
Yeah. And it's nice to have this pair on the midpoint with nothing else to play in the outfield.
It also gives you some protection
But-
if you get hit inside later.
True. Still leaves an ugly builder on the 3-point, but yeah,
He had that. That was there anyway. That was just always going to be there.
sure. But now a point has been made in front of it. I mean,
Right.
but
Okay,
yeah.
5-2s.
Anyway,
Now Frank might be thinking about doubling. Oh, what do you think about doubling here? What's the race? Oh, he's up 17. He's got aces, 9s, and 11s. He's trailing 9 away, 3 away. I think
it should probably double.
I send
but
it
it's,
here. And
such a, I don't know. It's such a small advantage and so few gammons that it's not a super easy find, but I agree it's probably technically enough.
plus, did he ever say whether it was a cube or not?
No, we didn't,
We didn't
see
see
it.
And all
I'm
things
pretty,
being
I'm pretty sure based on the numbers it was a cube.
But all
Yeah,
things
it
being
would be-
equal, Frank's a great player, but all things being equal, he is playing Victor. He's one of the
Yeah,
top.
yeah.
He's one of the top 6 or 7 players in New York City,
So yeah,
in
so
my
you're-
opinion.
Look at that roll, Guru. But so you're saying Frank should take a little bit more risk to gamble since he's playing
Yeah.
such a strong
I
player.
mean, if
Yeah.
I'm playing you or Mochi or PJT, I'm going to take that extra risk.
Oh yeah, that's
If I'm playing Joe Russell, I'm going to take 5 extra shakes. No, Joe, 2-time Monte Carlo finalist, great player.
But
uh,
Steve, do you believe that Frank thinks that way?
To an extent, yeah. I mean, I've had some discussions.
He did give a .04 or something non-milli 40 like a 41 millipoint no double earlier. And I thought it was probably right.
Right, but it's hard to know if
It's
he
hard-
did that knowingly.
Right.
If you see what I mean. Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm saying what he may have not known whether it was an error or not to double, but he may have thought if I am making the error, it's very small and I'm playing Victor and I want to put
Yeah.
pressure on him.
Yeah. Fair enough.
All right. How unreasonable is it just to break the 9-point here, or you just play 13-3?
It's reasonable.
He's thinking about
But
it.
I guess,
Flexibility, non-strip point,
yeah.
and he's probably got to go.
Yeah.
It's pretty close, huh? So my suggested play is pretty close.
Pretty
close.
interesting because Victor's probably gonna have to give up some point as well, right? So
Yeah, I mean, he might.
how do the plays compare if he has to give up a point? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Apparently they are close as
That's
well.
super
but-
close. Okay, let's see what happens here. Well, Victor rolls 6-1. He's going to get the cube. But that's about it.
Okay,
Okay.
2-1.
Probably break the 6. Pretty close, but I just get rid of the gap.
This is probably a cube now.
I don't think so.
I do.
Well, let's find
Yeah,
out.
I agree with Joe. I mean, at this score, you can cube earlier, and if it's correct that he's up by 16 pips here, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good call, guys.
Anyway, not a super big deal, but he has market losers, and he's going to have them for a couple rolls.
Yeah, and some of the market losers are not only his good numbers, but Victor's bad numbers. So something like 5-1, 6-1, you gain equity on that.
Even
Some-
4-1, bust the board or
Yeah.
leave a shot. You look at those. You
So-
know, he'll leave a shot on 4-1, but those are all really bad numbers.
Yeah.
Frank could roll a number, make the ace point. Victor rolls an ace, leaves a shot, gets hit. Gammon occurs. It's not very often, but it's 3.68%.
Okay, 4-1.
So there's
Not
that
terrible.
scenario.
So I actually play 6-5 to give myself a good 5-4.
Right.
Now it's
I
5-4
agree.
leaves a shot. Okay. Not
4-3,
not
okay.
terrible.
So similar looking positions. Going to be a double again, of course.
Barely this time, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he caught up in the race, and his position got a little bit more awkward. So fair enough.
Double ace is not so bad. Probably 5-4, 6-5.
Yeah, 6-5 looks good.
He's got a bad 5-3 if he doesn't do that.
Good call, Joe. Good catch, Joe.
Yeah.
Good play, Frank.
I usually recognize those things very easily with 3 minutes left on my clock in the World Championship Winter Bracket Finals. Not
Every
a
time
problem.
you've been there, you've gotten it perfect, right?
Yeah. 1:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
Day 7.
Yeah, so now he's thinking about it, it seems. He has lost some ground in the race, but
So
it's
Victor will
easier
take
for
it.
him to clear.
Victor will take.
Yeah. of course
Down
he'll take.
11. Okay, nice take, Victor.
It's also kind of a nice cube to take for Victor, almost knowing he's not going to lose a G.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's pretty unlikely to get gammon, so he's trying to get to Crawford here. 3-1, all right. Just probably slide it to the ace.
okay. He saves the guy on the outside? Doesn't want to
Pretty
slot.
good shake.
Very good shake for the race.
Yeah, did not leave a shot. Even indirect.
Victor wants to run from the back, I guess. Okay, he can't do that.
I'm surprised Victor has so much time left on his clock. It's a lot. Well, almost 4 minutes.
Well, I think he just plays to the 5 and 4.
Is it 2-1 or 3-1?
2-1,
2-1, yeah.
Hmm.
He doesn't want to blot there, I guess, if he gets a shot.
There goes the 6 point.
There goes the neighborhood, as Joe says.
Yeah. And Victor, some nice contact if he can run here well.
Very good
That's a
shot
nice
for Victor.
roll.
Wow. 11 pips, escapes a piece, keeps the Guardian back down on the 21 point.
Yeah. And Frank can continue to waste pips if he can
This
clear.
is
and-
a very
yeah.
close game now. 50-50 game, right?
Oh,
not
superstar
anymore.
shake. Superstar shake by Frigo.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Falafel and McGrill are calling this match in heaven. I'd like to hear
So-
that commentary.
Victor stays for the 6 shots.
Yeah.
Very reasonable.
Looks right.
Okay.
Is he going to get the chance to stay again?
Maybe he won't want to.
No, he would stay again if he could.
Would, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
I agree.
So 16-12. Let's see. 3 away. 7 away.
Yep. Should be like 24%.
Seems
For-
less,
for
but I
Frank?
don't know. If I ever read a book, I might know what the match equities are.
May seem less, but it depends on if you're trailing or if you're ahead.
Look at that. Free.
Okay.
Yeah. Joe, you lost this game once. Doubles, ace deuce, doubles. Jeez Louise.
My worst loss ever in a backgammon tournament that I can remember was when I had to not roll a double ace to go to the finals of the tournament. And I rolled a double ace. My opponent missed the shot, and I rolled double ace again.
Let me guess. Was that against Pat Gibson?
It was. It was against Pat Gibson in the semifinals of the Las Vegas Open.
And he won that one. He beat
Yeah, he
Dick in
won.
the
He won the
finals.
tournament. Not only did that was the win, but after that I had to lose like 2 more games too. So it was like I had to go through that parlay, then lose 2 more games after that.
All right, so what's Frank got? Oh, you just played 24-22. Pretty simple. No need
Yeah,
to-
he rolls double aces here. He cannot make the 7 because he will leave a shot.
now-
So he splits.
Ooh.
Or, yeah, he considers it. But yeah, it's bad because it leaves
Oh,
the
that's
shot.
not so good. You're giving up a point, you're gaining a point, but you're leaving like almost half the numbers hit.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's
I'm
good that
surprised.
that the 7-point traps the 24-point guy, but yeah, it's not enough.
I'm very surprised.
And he can step up.
Well, I
perhaps,
think
with the back guy,
while it was
yeah.
the wrong play, I think what he's trying to do is get the strong, front positions where he can get to doubles. And,
Yeah, that makes sense. He's trying to look for some gammonish
It's just a little
things
hasty.
going on.
It was just a little too risky.
Yeah. I think it's a good point what you said, Steve, that you give up your 8 points, so it's not like you make a new point. You just
Yeah.
get another point.
You're getting a strawberry shake instead of a chocolate shake. It's still a
Yeah,
shake.
yeah, yeah.
It was a very bad 5.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, he has to play it, but
you got the anchor.
yeah,
Yeah.
he wanted the anchor. That
so far it looks like the type of game that Victor wants to play.
yep.
Not too much danger out there. Could he hit on the ace point, perhaps?
Reasonable.
Yeah. Wants to get him out of his hair.
Good play. He doesn't have much hair.
No?
Can I say that? I just did.
Well, in that case, he wants to get him out of his hairs.
What do we got? Okay, Ashkenazi makes the ace point. He's at least got rid of that enduring liability. Ooh, this is interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, you really put
Given
it
how
to
ugly it is.
What's the race here? And he's down.
He's down
Frank's
by,
down
I mean, it
16.
seems like he wants to keep it back there, but it's so ugly.
It's actually pretty
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, yeah.
I probably would have gone to the deuce point.
Yeah. I mean, conceptually, you don't want to run, but it was just so bad of a non-running play.
Okay, I think Victor should just bring 2 down from the midpoint. Just start to play pieces behind the anchor.
Yeah.
I think good. He
Right.
found it. It's the right idea. Just hope to get lucky and roll one more double 4, double 6.
Yeah. Sounds intelligent. Because otherwise, he would just be looking to clear his midpoint.
Isn't
Too.
this interesting?
Wow. Another ugly non-running
And
roll.
still down 16 pips after the play, but he doesn't really have much option here.
This isn't so bad. He's not going to get hit.
Yeah, he apparently he can
And he
run
can-
without going with both guys. He could go with one guy. But yeah, difficult find.
Okay,
But
good roll for Victor. Get 11 pips, makes a new point.
yeah,
Frank would like to roll deuce and make an extra blocking point. He does.
yeah, that's important actually.
Yeah, extra number he can't roll through. So Frank.
Not that easy for Victor to clear the point.
Okay. Little.
If Victor rolls like a 6-4, should he pay now?
Probably not. With this big a race lead?
Here, I would just slot the ace. I would not break that point. Could be right, but I wouldn't do it. Was that the right play? Did
Didn't
anybody
show
see
it.
it?
No, then I'm.
Okay. Frank's got a decent amount of timing here. Okay, easy, 11 and 4. Got that 4th point in his home board. If Victor rolls double fours, he'll be the best field goal kicker for the New York Jets in their history. He didn't get it.
6-5. 6
Victor-
to 1, yeah.
Victor,
Yeah.
a big New York Jets fan. 6-2. I'll probably select a 3-point.
Yeah, I would too.
You're not really trying. You're down that far in the race. You're not trying to get off the 13-point.
But perhaps he feels that the 3-point block could be a liability if he has to hit
Right, could be.
immediately.
But he won't because Victor has one piece of
Yeah,
timing.
Yeah,
Pretty small. Ooh, you could make the 4-point.
yeah.
Let's see.
Keep saving it.
Saving for one shake for a rainy day. Oh, look at this.
Oh, wow.
Frigo.
Worked out well.
So now if Victor rolls
It
6-5,
transposed,
Frank might
actually.
double him.
Yeah, he'll double him if you roll 6-5.
Anything
Sure.
else? Anything else bad? Yeah, Frank would have about 25 numbers. Yeah, 25 numbers.
Not
Look at
if he
that.
rolls
The
4-4.
best field goal kicker in New York Jets history.
It's too
Mr.
good- it's too
Ashkenazi.
good now. It's too good now.
It's too good for him. It's too bad for Frank.
Yeah, I
And
think it's too good.
Obviously, it's too good. 45 pips.
Yeah.
50. Was it?
all right, Victor's going to be very happy. I was getting a 2-way. Now, most of his games are going to be holding games. They're trying to play for an undoubled gammon. He can get a blitz going.
He gave up his one chance in 1,000 to win a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
All right, Frank.
Frank will be shipping early in the
Stretching
advantage.
here.
Yeah.
Hit and
Hasn't
split.
been able to find those gammonish position.
No.
He's been a little bit unlucky there. Just some holding games since he became a trailer.
Enter, split, and make the 5.
Yeah.
And
So
he's
true.
going to probably, if Victor doesn't roll something productive, he's going to get the cube. He has a lot of productive numbers. Aces, sixes, and deuces. Anything that makes an inside point. But if, let's see, 4-4 saves the cube for sure. And there you go. This is one of the game plans I thought Victor could go for. The undoubled gammon. From 2 away.
That's a great shot by Frank.
Superstar shake by Frank. Desperation joker.
Wouldn't call it a joker, but
I don't have time to think about the right word. I just say what comes out of my head. Okay, 3-6. Okay, no double.
And he stops to consider it.
Yeah, with the, I don't think he's outboarded and down in the race. I don't think he's going to double with. There we go.
well, he's probably going to double the next shake.
Another joker
Yeah.
by Frank. Don't you
I would
agree,
say
Joe?
almost anything that Victor rolls, Frank will double.
If he doesn't hit.
No, even if he hits.
Really?
Yeah.
One,
Probably.
1-6 is a cube? Or this is a cube.
Yeah.
Now it's an easy cube, and Victor probably is going to drop. Look at that snap double. Didn't even think about it. Victor, how much time does he have on his clock? Like 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes?
I think it's something like that. Yeah.
We're going to find out in 2
Yeah,
seconds.
exactly.
So 2.5 minutes. Victor should take
Okay,
30 seconds.
very nice double by Frank and a take.
You think it's a take?
I see the
It's on the
FCP.
screen. But I mean, it's
And Victor dropped it. Okay.
not an easy decision.
good call,
Not
Joe.
an easy decision.
Good call, Joe, on
Yeah.
the XG, and good call, Steve, on the decision. Okay. These guys take any breaks this match?
Yeah, they've taken a couple short breaks. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, ooh, exciting score. 2 away, 6 away. Frank could double, get a backgammon, win the whole thing. How many 3-pointers did Kareem have as a career, Joe?
I don't know. It's probably going to be very few, but I'm going to guess 4 or 5.
1.
Okay.
And if Frank can hit that 3-pointer in this game right here, he'll win the match and be in the finals of the World Championship.
Has to be a double one.
Okay, what do we got? 4-6. Five two, not terrible. Let's make the 11. Victor's got a little counterattack going here.
But again, looking like a pretty comfortable game for Victor.
So far,
Not too
what do you roll?
too many
6-1.
gammons.
Yeah, inconvenient truth here. Can't move that checker on the 15.
No.
Can make the 7, or he could hit loose at what with the 6 slot? Oh, he's doing this.
Okay. Okay.
Frank probably has a cube.
I mean, 18 and 5 looked natural, but at the score it looked very, very scary. I think was a difficult play to make.
1-5 just come out. I don't like the double hit. Just
I
come
would,
out.
I would hit on the ace.
Hitting is fine. He
All
has
right.
a blood in his inner board.
Fair enough. Okay, you guys made the call.
But you were right, Steve. Coming out was slightly
like
better.
less than .02. It's okay.
Yeah.
So if Victor doesn't hit or make an anchor or come in with 2 checkers, he's going to get the cube.
He stays out with 1 and doeses'anchor. But
Okay,
he came in
so-
with both.
I don't. I think Frank's going to wait here with a checker on the ace point.
I think it. Yeah. I don't know.
4-3 hit and cover.
Yep.
Saw it right away.
I would hit and cover.
Yeah, and you know why? Because Victor's got a blot in his board. I just learned that. Like
True, but also has an anchor now.
Hit and cover was clearly right.
Yeah, good call, Joe. I thought so too. All right, Victor needs a deuce here for that advanced anchor. 6-5 should be getting the cube. Yeah, cube, maybe. I mean, 4 away, 2 away. Frank for sure could double. I don't know about this score. 4 away, 2 away, 6 away. Probably a double. It's minus 770. There you go. He doubles.
It's minus more than that because he didn't make that play.
Right, that's correct. I don't think Victor likes this game so much. He might take it though. I don't think he
Yeah.
likes it.
He's taking.
It looks hard to pass.
Yeah, you got the
I-
anchor.
I can't imagine.
Frank's got a blot on
Can't
his ace
imagine this
point.
being a pass.
No.
Can you imagine?
No,
this
it
being a
isn't.
pass?
I've already seen that it's not a pass, but I mean, it also looks hard to pass. I
Right.
think he will take it because it's against the 1-point board.
Ooh.
He passed.
Okay,
Okay.
fair enough.
Anything exciting here. Frank's down up to 25%. 5 away, 2 away. Okay. Frank's rolling with a little bit of confidence here. Made a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
I think you're supposed to split there.
No. This is the right play even
Wow.
at 0-0.
Look at this. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, Victor's going to be playing for that undouble gammon. Already comfortable position, advanced anchor, outside prime. Okay,
Okay.
for sure. Just 4-1. Great shot for Victor.
Is this gonna be the game?
This could be the game. Like 25% of the time.
Oh. I don't think Victor's doubling anytime soon.
Good call.
Oh, that's wise. Wise words.
All right, let's see. Is he going to make the outside prime? Attack inside? What do you roll? Ace, ace.
Ooh.
Excellent shot. 5-point prime. And even if he gets hit, it's not that big a deal. You actually didn't want to see the deuce more than the 6.
Yeah, a good shot. Actually, maybe he could be doubling Joe in a while.
Nah, yeah, not with 3 checkers back.
No,
just-
no, but I mean, let's say he steps up with that backmost checker.
Yeah. All right, this is interesting. Got a 6 prime there. Advanced anchor.
Yeah. So he could step up with the back guy now, for example. and he could escape with his anchor.
You know, another play that's just pretty reasonable would have been just to make the 4-point play to the 12-point.
That's the kind of play that I would
gonna-
make, and it would be wrong.
Huh?
Remember
No,
the 2-1 I had against?
Yeah. Well, the thing about that play is, you know, you really, if you go for any counter prime, you'd much rather have the 4-point than the 3-point.
Yeah.
I think it's, but I guess Frank, because Victor is
And playing 13-12 gives you chances to make the 7, 9, or 10-point.
Yeah.
I think that was actually the play.
Also, 24 to 22 what was not as important when gammons are not his biggest
And
concern.
when you're behind a 6
But yeah, but
good. Oh, look at this!
4-3. Wow, that's an unlucky roll. I didn't even see it.
Now he's glad he's on the 22-point.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. You could have slot the 4-point here, Frank.
I would slot the 4.
You did not.
Keep more builders for those other 3 points
Yeah.
as well.
And
At the expense of a 4-number shot.
Well, yeah, and basically he needs to contain Victor, and that's
Right.
going to be really hard with that sort of vision. But yeah, and again, he wants to block him as well.
all right. How about slotting the 4 now?
Yeah. Good idea.
What is that?
Oh,
not,
that's
not illegal
illegal.
play.
So he finds it.
It's nice to make illegal plays with a minute and 20
He
left
would have
on
made the
clock.
4-point if he'd made the right play
I-
the first time.
Good observation. That's absolutely true.
Okay.
And he wouldn't have gotten a hit.
And he wouldn't have been hit.
Oh, big swing. Now
And
Victor
what
is...
would have happened next?
Oh, I don't know.
No. So now it's
Just make the 4-point.
this
Yeah,
must-
that's reasonable
So I guess
because,
it's too good, right?
of course,
He can't really double. in
5-3.
WoW.
All right. I mean, could you get fancy and hit loose here, or just run?
No, just run. I mean, he can probably.
There you go.
XG could.
Okay.
XG and Steve.
Yeah.
That's the new bot coming out. Yeah. Wasn't sharp earlier when it counted. I would have played 8-6. Same
Yeah.
number of shots. Clear is easier. All right, slotting
Yeah.
and play to the 9, giving yourself good 4s and 6s.
Smart.
Yeah. Probably not a gammon. Probably like, what, 17% or something?
1. Okay. Pretty ugly now.
They're both ugly. Look at this. Talk
That's
about
ugly.
ugliness.
That's ugly. Okay.
Okay, just break the 6. I guess. You break the 5. Either one. All right. It's a good roll under the circumstances.
I mean, very, very small winning chances.
Very good
White
for
still.
Frank. You slot or just continue? I'll probably slot. I don't think you get gammon too often.
Really?
No.
Isn't it pretty close? Or
No. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see any numbers lately, but I wouldn't.
No,
think so.
me neither. Okay, now it's not at least.
Okay, gets to slot his 6-point. With the potential of making it in a 5-point board.
Yeah.
Ah,
okay.
oh, but he's got a. Doesn't he have a free shake
Yeah,
here?
he does. He
Yeah.
has no bad numbers.
Even if you roll double 3s. All right, so that's a little bit of. You know, lose.
Maybe not against double 6s if you roll 2-1. I don't know.
I didn't see what the race differential was. Okay, so 18-14. 1 away, 5 away,
Taking another
Crawford.
break.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching, everyone. We really appreciate all the comments, and we appreciate everyone hitting the like button.
And
Please
during the break, you smash the like.
smash it.
You have all the time in the world now.
Tell them 2 p.m. tomorrow we'll be on. 2 round of 8 playoff matches. I'm going to be working home at Nakasuka and Monson and Bill Seth
I'll let you say those names.
Right. Maybe you go ahead. I think it's easiest.
Okay, at 2 p.m. tomorrow, we'll resume streaming. There'll be 2 round of 8 matches in the second chance playoff. One of those will be Morton Home against Kinjo Nakasuka from Japan, and the other one will be Alexis Vincent from France versus Martha Jelseth from Norway. So those will be the two matches. So join us at 2 p.m., 1400 tomorrow afternoon. And thank everyone for watching tonight. And I'd like to issue a special thanks to all of the assistants we've had today. Justin Noel, a couple of matches over there. Mark Dixon, who sat in the early afternoon when Phil first fell victim to his stomach disorders. And then tonight, Thomas Tenlin is set in for the duration. Joe took over early on for when Phil again fell ill. Steve set in late, but I'll tell you, I do a lot of commentary. I know how long and grueling these matches are, not only for the players, but for the commentators. And like to really express our appreciation for
Thank you,
y'all
Bill.
sitting in and taking care of that
I
tonight.
strained a vocal cord last time when I did commentary with you.
Really?
And I had to go on speak rest for 3 weeks.
Really? Okay, so anyway, thank you very much, guys, and hopefully we'll have a great end of this match.
They're saying on the stream, Thomas, that you look cold. Are you cold?
I'm wearing a
he
jacket.
He comes from a desert country.
Is
you
it
know,
my
he's-
nipples?
It's a family show.
Is that too close?
Yeah, 19 pointers are long commentaries. This is 17, right? Yeah. No, this is 19.
Alex Ashkenazi wants to know when your book signing is.
When my book signing is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the book probably has to exist first,
Okay.
and that's taking some time. So I mean, I hope it's going to be
Well,
next
he wants to
year.
know if he can get the first signed book.
The first signed book. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Probably
Alex,
can.
you've got
Probably
it.
can.
Hi, Alex. Thanks for watching.
Dimitri's here. Ian Terry. Mark Emmerich.
All my friends.
Both of them.
Oh,
Oh, I just did something here. What did I do?
that's it. They have to start the match over now. You messed it up.
Let's see if I can find out.
All right. 1 away, 5 away. 16.5%, I guess. Frank's got to win 3 games or gammon on the next game. Wow, 20 point. Oh, really? Oh, he doesn't need to.
Well, he doesn't need to worry
I
about
forgot, yeah.
losing a G.
It was
um,
close.
Yeah.
All right, good shot for Frank.
So this game is essentially like DMP. Right?
Yeah, DMP.
You
with,
only care about winning.
DMP with the paranoia about getting backhand.
Yeah. That hasn't kicked in quite yet.
No, it was Kimon P. I can't pronounce his last name, but he backgammoned me at 1 away, 3 away Crawford. And I stayed for the Classique, and I wasn't supposed to. He rolled a double.
Kara?
Papa Christopoulos. Thank you, Bill. That was the first year of 2 consecutive years that he won the New York Metro. All right, Victor's in a pretty good shape here. Middle anchor and equal board. Probably 13-10.
Mm-hmm.
6-1 is duplicated. You don't want to step into the 5-3.
Okay. No, I got the comment here. Okay. Okay, thanks.
6-2. Ooh, not
Good
bad.
roll.
Carter's here fresh out of the hospital. As
Hi,
is
Carter.
Mark Dixon and Gigi Goyette.
Hi, Gigi.
Eric Peterson.
Eric? It's like romper room. It's like, I see you, and I see you, and I see you. I used to watch that 60 years ago. Oh, 6-1. Wow.
Super shake.
Victor with the
Hi,
5
Victor.
prime has to fade the ace shot.
Great shot
2-6.
by Frank. He's out.
Yeah. With one guy.
No, that's a big improvement.
Yeah.
Okay, 5-1. Average minus. Doesn't leave a shot, but it doesn't hit or make a point. 3-2. Probably 13-8.
Yep, that's what I would do. Good play.
Doesn't have that great timing, Victor, after all. Could get a little bit awkward.
Yeah. First he's
Really
got to
needs
make
to roll the 3-point with one of those 3 builders.
4 points. I mean, deuce point's not so bad.
Nope.
But
Great
it's,
shot.
yeah, I don't know. Okay.
3-2. Well, I guess so.
No, just continue. Yeah.
All right. Victor's in good shape here, but he needs to perform.
It also works on those points.
3-2. All right. It's the roll of the match coming up for Frank Frigo.
How does he play the 2?
He's got to come in and give himself a good
7-5.
five.
I think so.
That looks right.
Yeah, and the gammons don't really matter that much. Huge roll for Frank Frigo to keep himself in the match with a shot at the World Championship. And no, and Victor is on roll to close to make a 6 prime.
Don't forget, he's only 3 even if he loses, he's only 3 matches away from being back in the World Championship.
True.
Big swing. Big swing. All right, excellent roll for Victor. With the 6 prime needing 6s and 4s to get out, escape, and presumably be the finalist in the World Championship for the first time in his illustrious career.
And if he comes out
What do you roll?
with both guys, he probably shouldn't hit the guy in the outfield, right?
Oh, yeah, good
If he's
point,
out
yeah.
with both of them. Just wants to roll the prime forward.
Look at this, Frank. Okay,
Now
bring,
he should, of course.
bring it down. Give yourself a chance to make the 6 prime. You don't care if you get hit. You might want to get hit if Victor's going to escape.
I don't think you want to get hit. Definitely don't want to get hit on this roll anywhere.
No.
All right, I know you want your opponent to roll.
I don't have.
Hit any button on that remote, please.
Okay.
There's a button that says kill Steve. Don't hit that one. Three, 2. What a dog. Dog shake. I'll be 8-3.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
How much time has he got left? Oh, it's under a minute, 50 seconds. It looks very scary. That clock ticking down there. Make the right play.
Frank
Don't-
told me earlier, he said he considers his clock at 40 seconds to be 0. So once he gets to 40
Oh.
seconds, he will play as if the clock is on 0.
Just to
Ooh,
make
interesting.
absolutely sure he doesn't lose
Right.
the time. Okay.
Interesting.
But in this situation, I might deviate from that a little bit.
Joe, have you ever lost on time twice in one match?
Not that I can recall.
Oh, look at this play.
Yeah, he wants to pick up that checker
Maximum
to prime
call.
him.
Very creative play.
The problem is it's 18. It's Crawford game. That's not a bad play.
Look at this.
Oh, he
Oh, now
gets
Victor's
away.
going to play 6-1 and break his prime. No, he didn't do it. I guess that's the wrong idea.
So counter prime possibilities, and there it is.
Weehaw!
And now we have a game.
We got
Yeah,
a real live game here. Victor should be still a favorite.
Frank got
but-
rewarded for his big play.
Wow. Big play, Frank.
That was a gutsy play.
Oh, superstar
Great
shake
shot
by Victor. He needs that ace.
It is a joker. Any
Frank's
ace
going
was
to
a
be
joker.
happy to hit loose
But
here.
especially ace deuce.
What do you roll? 5-3? No. Okay.
Yeah, now he has to hit on the deuce.
Yep. You got to
Yeah,
hit. Hope he
of
comes in
course.
on the 24. Hope he comes in on the 24. Now he's down to 0 on his clock, Joe.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think.
Why didn't he hit?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe he
that
wants him
was-
to roll a 5-4 or something.
Right.
Double three.
I guess his thinking is he wants him to move, but
Victor, I think a slight mistake. He should have played 8-6. 9 to 6 on the last one. Yep. Okay. Okay, so Victor, a 6 away from launching himself into the finals of the World Championship. Can he do it? 5-4. He's got to leave a shot here. All right, big shake for Frank. They can roll a 6. Force a second game, probably. Did not. Another shot for Victor. Huge rolls. Every roll is huge. Double 6 doesn't even leave a shot. I'd like to see them both time out. I guess it can't happen. Oh, massive. Hit loose.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, 2-6 from the bar, but it didn't happen. It looks like we're going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Wait, how about making the 9 and then just not leaving that point slotted? I mean, making the 8
He doesn't
point.
need gammons, though.
Yeah, but he might get a backgammon.
That's pretty ambitious, right?
I've gone for it and I've made it. I've made it at least once out of 100 times.
Maybe one side of 500.
Yeah.
Whatever, it's worth a shot. Okay.
Keep looking 1 second every shake.
Yeah.
So in the DMP hit models, I think.
Two-time world champion Masasuke Mochizuki making jokes in the background. The man in the shadows. There he is.
Do the wave.
Backgammon Masterclass available at your bookstore. Go buy it. Get an autographed copy.
Autographed copy in any bookstore.
Any bookstore. Okay. All right.
All
So
right.
game for Frank.
Wow.
Super exciting. 18-15.
Yeah.
Second. That's one. Okay.
Or a little fast breather.
I mean, in this case, Victor has plenty of time.
Frigo has passed his threshold, Joe.
Yeah.
Right.
Zero.
All right.
He knows.
No, he told me.
All right. Too many checkers left. We're going to another game.
Yep.
18-15. Now post Crawford.
Yep. Free drop, right?
Free drop.
Oh, he's on a break.
It's another break. He's going to check.
Oh, okay, okay.
Just stretching for a moment.
Just checking his phone if it was a free drop or not. Oh, it's not him that has to take that into account, right? It's Victor's problem.
It's pretty rare, but if he actually opens with 3-1 and Victor rolls the 5-1, is he supposed to play for the gammon for a shake?
Sorry?
So if Frank opens with a 3-1 and Victor responds with a 5-1 or 4-1, is he supposed to play for a gammon and just not even double? I think.
No, not at this score.
Okay, but just
18,
2 away,
18,
1 away.
17. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. All right, double take. Frank is a gammon away from finding a spot in the World Championship for the second time
Great shot.
in 29 years. 29 years ago, he won this tournament, 1994.
Yeah.
That's the year I started playing backgammon. Shaking the hell out of that.
Okay.
He just made it
Should
before
Victor-
the last stop.
Okay. Very exciting game coming up here. Okay. Not terrible. Not that
Yeah.
good.
So he wanted to split, couldn't.
Yeah. All right, 2 down. Take your chances. Victor needs to hit or roll boxes or 4s. You may be in some trouble getting
Or
Gammon.
just make a nice point in this board.
Yeah, pretty close game, right?
Yeah.
3-1. All right. A lot of volatility on this next shake here. Frank with the 3-1. Surpassing him in board
Make
strength.
the 7 or the 4, though.
Yeah.
7. 4-3.
That's
Well,
one
2
of the
down.
weaker numbers.
I think you just bring 2 down. Why would you do that? I don't understand.
Maybe not to just leave the outfield to the opponent, I guess. Right?
Okay. Oh my goodness.
What a shot. What a shot.
Incredible, incredible.
And
Very
he
good
only-
play.
He only shook the dice for like 5 seconds.
All right. That's got to be a little frustrating for Frank here. It's Gammon chance.
Still far from over here.
Yeah, so play 2 off the 10
3-2,
point.
3-2.
Oh, I see. So can you give yourself a good 6? Good play. Ooh.
Off the ace.
Yeah, I guess you have to. All right. Almost half of Victor's numbers make the 4 point and the 5 prime. Let's see if he can roll it. Does he have any bad numbers? 6-5's not so good. 6-5. Who said that?
Who called that number?
Who called that number? Oh my goodness.
Unsportsmanlike calling number.
Really? I think you got a slot.
What? No.
You just got a slot and slot. Wow, the huge roll, the hugest roll, the entire tournament so far. Aces and 3s for Frank. He hits with an ace, but he's double slotted in his board. Another massive shake coming up for Victor. Any ace or deuce, and he's looking great. If he misses, he could be Gammon for the
If
match.
he dances here, it's like
This
really
is the roll
threatening.
of the tournament. Right here, he stayed out. So Frank with aces, deuces, 3s, and 4s, he rolls a 3-6. Ooh. Well, maybe. No, maybe so. Doing it come out.
It's not.
No.
No, I don't think so.
I like this.
Oh, okay, good
What's
play.
the best play?
Oh, Victor stayed out again. And it looks like Frank's probably a favorite here in the match. 6-5, and it covers. Wow, Victor, who was massively ahead in this match, is looking to possibly go to the second chance bracket. Frank needs a 4 to close out with a presumptive Gammon. He rolled a 4. Escapes.
Wow.
Okay, just make sure you don't leave yourself bad doubles. Don't leave yourself a bad double 4, double 5. Okay. Just yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he's probably gonna win. Yeah, that was.
That's what I said.
I think you just bring it in. Frank, just bring it. I think Frank's supposed.
7.
No, now double 2's cracks. Why'd you do that?
Nobody would ever roll double 2.
No, that's fine. He rolls double 4s again. He leaves Victor a shot. Oh, can you really do that? You shut up, Roy. You were thinking it, and I said it. Wow. So let's see. 6-2. It's a great
shot.
shake.
Great shot.
Takes a checker off. Evens the distribution. Victor needs boxes like he got earlier. That was amazing. Victor got boxes. What's going on here?
You're such a jerk.
You should listen back to this and have about this.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on?
along with Taran, along with every chip in front of him. That's a line from Rounders. Wow, unbelievable. Okay. Yeah, clear. Good play. Okay.
No shots.
Will he leave a shot?
6 numbers leave a shot. He did not roll it, and you can play safe here. Joe Russell taught me this play like a week ago. Okay.
No shots.
Okay, so
a great-
he saves a shake. Victor needs massive doubles here. Oh, it's 7-6, obviously.
No shots.
You're beyond that, Rory. We're past the no shots part.
Still no shot though.
Yes, no shots. I was
So 11 crossovers, 9 crossovers, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like
higher level now, Steve.
Victor needs a couple of big doubles here. I don't think one double's going to do it. All right, going to the 11 point. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So Victor needs boxes. Victor needs boxes and some help. If he doesn't roll boxes, oh, and you got to bring it in. That goes to the 4 point. So Victor needs boxes and help to get on. It's over. Frank Frigo, finalist of the World Championship for the second time in 29
Great match,
years.
everyone. Very tough. Very tough loss for Victor. That was such a turnaround on that last game. It was very, very, very tough. Congratulations to Frank Frigo. Congratulations to Victor on
Yeah, they both
another
played strong
extremely
match.
well played match.
Oh, Frank's about to time out. He didn't take that last checker off. It's 100% position.
What an exciting finish.
Incredible. The 6-5 Victor rolled, and then Frank rolled 3-6 and closed him out. Amazing.
Hashim says, San Diego proud. Congratulations. Go, Frank. Dimitri, congrats, Frank. David Saunders, great match. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Neil Kazaroff says, bravo.